Grammarly can help you write quickly and confidently, so you never have to slow down at work. Stay on top of emails, documents, and more without having to stay put. Whether you're working on your computer or on your phone, Grammarly provides instant writing advice, so your messages are clear without sounding rushed. Instant corrections make your writing mistake-free, while keeping it short, sweet, and fitting in tone. Join more than 20 million people who use Grammarly's writing assistant every day. Download Grammarly today for better, smarter, faster writing at work.
This is a nighttime aligner from Smile Direct Club. Go from a smile like this to a smile like this while you sleep. And for less than $4 a day, get started for free at smiledirectclub.com.sg.
Apparently I'm not going to wear black for the next 1 week.
Yay! Apparently our interns are going to star us for a week. I think it will be less challenging for me than Amanda because
Obviously, hello! I wear a uniform every day to work, what are you talking about?
important question, but has anybody start you before?
Have lah. I will give them parameters. You can buy from me anything you want. As long as we black.
So that's technically like of no use at all.
One! Different type was.
Okay, so before we get our interns to join us, right, I would like to share that today's video will be collaboration with G-Shock. So we'll be wearing their watches throughout this entire challenge and styling it with the outfits as well. Okay, so shall we get them to come in?
Can.
Hello. Hi. Okay, maybe y'all introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Pita. I am 20 years old. Still young and fresh. Right.
Hi, I'm Ida. I'm 20 years old. Gen Z.
Oh my god.
Why you must emphasize Gen Z?
We are young.
So we thought of this video, right? Then I was like, okay, who do I ask? Because my interns are not young. So first person I thought of was Mika. Because I worked with you on one video before. Yeah, it's quite funny, yeah.
Then I got like vibes, huh?
Yeah,
Some vibes, huh?
we got some chemistry, yeah. Then we're like, okay lah. Then I just asked her, you want to my kind of fake intern.
Yes, so just for this challenge, close your eyes, pretend I was not in YouTube, TSL YouTube.
So, do you guys have any idea on like how you want to style us for this week?
I think for Leah, because you have a lot of style, you don't have like a definite style, right? So it's a little bit of a challenge for me on my end as well, you see? You dress very like in trend.
Okay.
So what if you like bring it back?
We throw it back. I get it.
Okay.
Do you think he should experiment more with our
Yeah.
options?
It's about time.
I'm wearing clothes, once you're wearing clothes.
Wait. What do you mean by that? Don't we all wear clothes for to wear clothes? Like
It's just like t-shirt and pants and like you don't have any like clothing. I'm like thinking like every single day, oh, what should I wear for today?
yeah, cause I put all my thinking at work, so I don't think about what I wear. Cool.
Always this kind of answer.
We'll see what you guys have in mind for the challenge. So thank you for joining us today. Looking forward to it. Okay, so now the interns are gone. Shall we pick out the watches that
Yes.
we're wearing for the challenge? So we're on the G-Shock website.
So over here we have couple. The first one that comes up is this GM 2100, GMS 2100. So how watches are like circle.
Yes.
This is like freaking turn.
Okay, it's like the shape of the
Yeah. I think this is unique.
Oh, that's quite nice.
Oh, this is cute. The most good one.
I think you can compliment your dress, honestly.
Can?
Yeah, why not? Like you shouldn't. You know, I think watches sometimes people think that are like, oh, because they are chunky. It's like if they're too chunky, they won't match like feminine pieces. I think definitely still can choose the right color as well. Yeah. Oh wait, they also
She
have
gave the
like
outfit ideas for
yeah,
you.
they also style it for you. Oh, that's nice. I like the fact that they have like different people with like kind of different personalities styling the outfits. So I
Right.
think it's quite versatile for us for
Very,
this
yeah.
challenge. Okay, so for the watches we want to get, right, we need to get a Casio ID membership. And looking at this page, there's quite a number of membership benefits. And the best thing I guess is that it's free in order to sign up. Okay, so after ordering the watches, right, we also have this click and collect service this, which is a very fast, quick, and convenient way to pick up your items. So I'll see you in 1 or 3 days.
Yeah, I'll be in office now, so.
Okay, see you.
So it's been a couple of days since we did our click and collect on G-Shock's website, right? So today we're at G-Shock Premium Outlet at MBS to collect our watches.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see the designs that we picked up in real life. So shall we go to those now?
Let's go! We've got our watches!
Actually, the design is good. And I love how it's like a different packaging.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a look at the pieces?
Okay, yes.
Okay, so the design that I picked, right, is the GMS 2100.
Yep.
I love it. Oh wow, yours is really nice too. I like the
Did you
red
see the
piece.
red?
It's nice, it's nice. I like that this is more, I think the designs in
Yeah.
comparison, right? Since it's a bit smaller, then it's also a bit more feminine, right?
And I like how clean it looks there. It really is like a combination of both the analog face and also digital face.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought like that was like super fresh to me. And you know the cool thing is that this watch, right, is actually like the evolution of one of their watches beforehand.
Like a plastic shape. is
Yeah,
it?
so right,
Oh.
I have it actually right here.
Ta-da!
So the cool thing is that you see it maintains the octagonal shape and
Yeah.
there's a shape still there, but this one right is like
face is
encased
metal,
with
is it?
metal now.
Actually, this design is the GA2100
Mm,
series, right? Which is very, very popular with like people around our age probably
Yeah.
lah. Because I think, I mean, you look at it, like it's the kind that is very staple, very wearable for like everyday. And this one maybe like you can dress it up.
You want to fancy it up, right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Why did you ask them to choose for us so fast? I thought they were gonna like tell us on the day itself.
Yeah, I thought it's like, hello Amanda, today you're gonna wear.
Yeah, then I can be like,
no,
eh,
then I
actually,
try
I
to
want-
find in my wardrobe whatever they have. Yeah, I'm sure
Are
you
you
guys
ready?
will love it, huh?
Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
We'll see you in the day one of the
Bye.
Alright, today's outfit is in pastel core. So I've got like this light blue knee outer here and a t-shirt and a string pants that is super dangerous to wear. So I'm not sure how to feel about this. Instead of why you want to wear so many colours in one. So I mean there are not normal colours there. They're not like the blues or the reds or the maroons, but they're like purple.
You guys, just one of the challenge and this outfit is hippie fun. What the title of it is, basically I'm supposed to look very bohemian, wearing this very paisley printed long skirt. I got this skirt, it's from a previous video that we did actually in this shop. It's a green candy crop top inside. This is the epitome of hippie, down to my sandals, and I even matched it with another print bag. So like my bag is deliberately a different print from the skirt, but it's kind of matching, so yeah.
Hello. Look at what you turned me into.
Yeah, it's nice. But look like boy.
Look like boy.
Look like small boy. Like look so playful, you know. But I think the watch is the thing that's nice.
The watch, right? Yeah, I like this.
It's the whole like outfit. That's sweet.
Okay. Oh.
Hey.
Why you say hey and then you laugh at me straight away? Why?
Like it's very refreshing to see you in colours. I think it's not bad. Like your layer, you mean like the same like family, like colour family.
I didn't even do anything about that, but yes, totally intended.
The colour that you chose also I compliment the skin one also. Your skin one is more towards the cool side. The
Okay.
cooler side than
Okay.
the warm side. Then the blue and purple colour.
Okay. So out of 10, do you want to see me in this again? Well, we got our answer. Thank you.
Can I ask you for your thoughts on my outfit?
Some Japanese mother or some young Ahiva. Okay, so the theme of today's outfit is actually by this girl Ida. Yeah, so she styled me. She styled you? Yeah, she gave me the theme. It's called hippie fun.
I've never been to ask her, but she's I'm legit feeling like only you can go out like that. You ask Vika to wear out yourself, she dare to go out or not?
I mean, like, you really immerse yourself. I love it. The colours, the pieces. You know, it's all like statement pieces but put together become very coherent. So clashing somehow to Gen Z.
I actually feel that I'm comfortable in it, but it's just that it's not Monday and Tuesday, which is good because a lot of people say that I wear a lot of things, so it's hard to like style. So I think she really puts me out of my usual like zone of things.
I will see you guys tomorrow for my outfit number 2. Not that I'm coming to office, so we'll see. It's day 2 of the challenge. I am more uncomfortable in this than I was in my yesterday outfit. This feels very strange. Not gonna lie. Though the watch matches perfectly with the color tones of the outfit,
I just saw the theme for today and it is soft boy. Am I supposed to wear pants underneath the dungarees? I am too sure. Wait, let me try to ask. Okay, this is my full soft white outfit. Done my hair. Look at my dungarees here. Between dungarees is just one big plain apron in front, but no, there are like features here that are super useful. Like I love this pocket right in the middle. Pretty useful. Probably wouldn't wear it all the time because it's so hot. There are 2 layers I'm wearing right now, and this is a pretty turtleneck.
okay, so since my sister is working from home, let's disturb her and ask her what she thinks of this outfit. Mainly because I feel that this is more her style than mine. Can I ask you for your opinion on my outfit? It's quite good. Offline, will you wear this? Yes, but then strap on up. This is very nice, I think. This is your style, right?
Yeah, this is more fun.
Yeah, I took her shoes or something.
Yeah, really.
Okay, thanks, sis.
What's up, Mr. Lee?
No.
No?
It's not like a song. I'm so sorry.
What do you mean?
I didn't think it's what fits me, but yeah, I mean I planned it, so it's on me. You know the Mario?
Oh my god, you're saying I look like Mario.
Yeah, I know like Mario, oh my god.
Huh.
Hello guys, I am finally dressed up in my day 3 outfit. Basically, this is what I'm trying to emulate. Yeah, so I don't think this is very hard to pull off, but I did not think this was aesthetic. Actually, like prior to doing this video. It's a kind of like low-waisted jeans with this carry top, and like she wears like this tube thing inside, like a double layered top like that. Very old school. Oh, I also kind of went with like her makeup, which is like simple, not much color on the face, vampire style.
Oh dear. Today is the day that I was trying to avoid all my life because I'm gonna wear athleisure and they are shorts. Oh yeah, I think this is something I realized over the past few days that dressing is okay for me. Like, I can dress up like in styles, but I like to be a bit more muted because I don't like the people look at me like, hey, this guy.
Actually, I'm the best sis.
Okay.
Give you what you want.
Okay.
And can we try? Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
I know you can see my guitar. Yeah, but yes.
Yes. That's the vibe, right? In between. Like, not a lot of people can pull off the low-rise jeans look. But I think this fits your body proportion well.
I done something funny because I didn't plan this. I'm actually going to a haunted house. And I thought it's quite funny because haunted house and then like Halloween and then now I have to bring the last one. Yeah, so I thought the timing was great. Thank you for making me extend my Halloween to November.
Can you guys rate my outfit now? Okay, I show you my outfit. You all need to rate it, okay?
Office always 100 upon 10. Hey, thank you.
You're on 10, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, at least I'm very white. Okay, because you're very fair, it makes you look even fairer. You wear such light colors. I see why you wear black. Right? Yeah. Right. I can see why. But it's so cute. I like the quality too. Like, you like? I'm a sucker for like sex. Me too,
Right.
actually. And I think you would do nice in a black set. I think so too. See? Alright, I got some old money outfit over here. It's in cream and this is slightly striped that's in brown. I think this outfit will fit me well. Like it is neutral, like it's a neutral color palette, and I think like I do very very well with neutral color palettes. The only concern is that today's weather is a bit hot. Before anything else, look at the weather. I know what I'm feeling. I really know that I'm feeling super super warm right now. I just want to wear t-shirt and my normal stretchy pants.
Hello everybody, today is day 4 of the challenge and today's theme is old money, and I'd say that this is the most different from any of the other styles that I've been wearing, like in terms of my level of comfort. I feel like an OL. This is very strange for me. I feel like I can go to the CBD and work right now. Like go work. And I even added the details, so I added a pearl necklace to go along with this. As well as the watch that I made. Brenda stole my rose gold one, which is a plan, but surprisingly I feel that the watch still kind of matches with the outfit. And I kind of edged it up with a bit with the sunglasses as well. So I didn't want to make it too demure because I think that would be very strange for me.
You know who Miguel is? He's yeah. Hello. What do you think?
I think it's damn nice. It's here, like a day outfit.
Like a date outfit.
It looks great, you know, like uncontrolled. That's why
On that note, I'm going to ask Instagram for their thoughts on my outfit. Since I already look like relatively bougie, might as well spend money on bougie things, right? So I've always wanted to do this, which is sit at TWG in the middle of MGS and Untitled. So that's why I'm trying to do. Tea, sandwiches, scones, macarons, and jam. I also thought it was quite cool that I could take a selfie with audio with people. Aesthetics, wow. Today's day 5 of the challenge, and this one is the emoji outfit. So usually when I ask Rita like what emoji she would want me to style as, and then she did these, so I immediately thought of Britney Spears with the beautiful crazy video. So I kind of immediately okay lah, I feel quite cute this outfit, even like quite match, you know. So it's not too bad, just that I'm trying to be younger than I actually am. Because you know, I always tell people I'm older than me.
I'm gonna go get changed now because I know this outfit is the emoji challenge and I'm supposed to be Saturn. I'm quite excited to try this because I've never worn one piece thingy. So other than that, I have theories lah. But this looks promising. I like the color, like you guys know I like the neutral colors.
Wait, I love that I'm with this person and you literally are blending in the backdrop at the moment. Yeah, you shouldn't be sitting in front of this backdrop. But it's cute there. I like the beanie. The beanie is so cute. Okay, I feel that. Yes, but it's like swaggy farmer vibes. Yeah, actually an artist, like a painter. Okay lah, I mean, I think this is a step up from your usual black t-shirt and it's just that.
Just me lah.
No, I think you need to be more swaggy.
What is swaggy?
I feel Mendon's stressed from the outside the room. Like he's not even sitting at his table, he's hiding from the world. He's doing work in the studio. People hide. Okay, so what are your thoughts on what I'm wearing today?
I love it. It's like, you know, the vibe I get is, you know, Britney Spears in that video.
Is the TV video.
Yes.
So Fika stopped me earlier and then she picked out 3 emojis for me to match the outfit to.
Someone gave me that, right? I probably just like wear like girly clothes and then carry a dress around.
How do you now?
You look like a cream. Rubber.
What?
It's not.
No, you just say very nice.
I feel like it sinks into your skin also.
So from far look naked, right?
Yeah.
See? I thought I said the same thing. You just said no.
Confirm in the MRT people like
Wearing anything.
okay. Nice. Okay. Don't do it again.
Hello!
So how was the challenge?
I had a pretty alright time. I think it's relatively decent for us, right?
Thanks to me.
Yes, thanks. All credits to Vika, of course.
I had a blast looking at your office as well.
I just thinking, oh my god, why?
You know why?
Why?
Amanda just used to wearing black all the time, but he doesn't know how to exist outside of the black.
Yeah, they say you must have the confidence, with it.
Yeah.
You must like feel the outfit. Maybe that's the problem.
I think like you don't like embrace it, you know.
See?
Like, oh mine is like so nice, why do I keep thinking it's not nice? So it's like hot is like a vibe, you know. It's like a mindset.
Yeah, but then what? You put me in like 23-degree weather in the office all the way up.
I think my favorite look on you was actually the hippie planner.
The first one,
Yeah,
right?
because I feel like it's so different. Like you always wear bright colors,
Yeah.
but not in that form. So
Yeah.
I love it when you like piece them together.
I think in general, because we had the watches to style along with an outfit as well, I think they were like super easy to style. My mom even commented, she was like, oh, nice watch. She literally grabbed my hand and she was like, oh, where's your wardrobe? It's nice. And I was like, I want one too. I'm like, okay, it's also another thing. You
Yeah.
expect to enjoy, like to find new styles that you wouldn't enjoy.
Or rather, I find new styles that I confirm that I would enjoy.
Ah.
Yeah. So it's like if you don't know what you like to wear, right? Just find what you don't like to wear,
Then you just
and then you just try the rest of the options that you are partial towards. Like oh, money one I'm partial towards it. Like you ask me wear a t-shirt, like sure, why not, right? And today I learned that I will need like proportions in my outfit to show like longer legs, smaller body, or like longer body, shorter legs, this sort of thing.
true. I mean, good that you learned and experimented new styles. I think that's important because in this video, I think the only person who needed that was him. But I'm glad that you tried a few more things other than black. Yeah, good job. China,
I think the outfits right, go in black, right?
no.
Don't have to fight. Confirm have to fight.
No.
Thank you for watching this episode of Zula Tries, and thank you G-Shock for making this video possible.
So shop G-Shock's entire range of watches on the website, and with the click and collect service, you can collect your watch at any of the available stores.
So this is completely free. You can check out the link in the description box down below for more information.
If you like this video, leave a comment which is your favorite outfit and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Bye!
Light in India. LG OLED Evo.
Okay, but
Yeah, it's on me. No, kidding.
hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Zula Answers. I'm Brenda,
Bowling!
and in today's episode, right, the topic is slightly heavier than what we usually talk about, and it is family woes. Is so family, right? For me, family issues are one of the hardest issues to solve. Because, right, I feel like when there's blood ties involved, things become more complicated.
You can't just cut off.
Yeah, it's not you.
It's not a friendship.
Friendship, relationship, you want to cut off easier. But family is like you are ultimately still bounded by the blood ties that you have.
Totally agree because my family situation also a bit not stable lah. But I feel that for me how I view things is it is what it is. It's how I view things. So of course
You don't take things too hard.
yeah, I don't think it too much. Yeah, but I think it is indeed very heavy. It's one of the I would say everyone can relate.
Everyone,
somehow.
yeah. Everyone.
Everyone.
Okay, with that said, let's go into confession number 9. Growing up with toxic parents. Does anyone have toxic parents? Growing up, I've had everything I wanted. This is why my parents always
Lazada Black Friday Cyber Monday sale is on from 26th to 29th November. Look out for irresistible one-for-one deals from...
It's a weird thing in the curriculum. They ask you how many times you masturbate.
I didn't get that. But I openly said, is it better to be single than in a bad relationship? This is your daily catch-up. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the Daily Catch-Up podcast, do remember to drop us a sub and hit the notification button.
Singles Day!
Oh, right.
Happy 11/11, all my fellow singles.
You got.
All the sales.
Hey, do you know what 11/11 is Singles Day, by the way?
Tell us.
Because
One.
Oh,
1.
yeah.
Everybody knows that. Then.
No, I thought there was a special reason.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, because it's not the...
Nothing special for you.
Oh, wait, but you're not single one. Oh shit, you are. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it's attached. Is anyone everywhere you go?
Oh man. Anyway.
How does
No, I'm kidding.
So in the previous episode we talked about my experience on engagement encounter, right? In the comment section people like, please talk more about it so we know more about it.
And just now.
Then I'm going to do engagement encounter with his fiance.
So the first thing I would say, right, is that for the longest time, right, because of John, I really thought it was called engagement encounter.
It really is not.
It's not.
Oh my god, everyone that's been trying to Google this cannot find it.
It's called...
Can we guess?
Yeah.
Premarital.
It's not that far.
No, it starts with EE.
Or is
Engaged encounter.
Engaged encounter. No, which doesn't make sense because you don't say married encounter, you say marriage encounter. When you're married, like, you go for marriage encounter. So like, engaged encounter, this don't feel right, but it's okay lah.
So how was it then?
Yours is different, right? You did Zoom.
It's okay. It's so okay, wait, I just wanted to pull out something before that. It's honestly not bad. So I think like Ned and I were a bit afraid of it because we've heard of couples, including John, where like sometimes difficult questions will be asked, and then like I know of some people who get into like fights lah. But again, fights are a good thing.
Before that, did y'all try to see whether there's anything y'all never hashed out and y'all tried to talk
Yeah.
about it?
Like pre-engaged.
Yeah. Honestly, no, because I kind of wanted it to be that session that we, you know, that
Why,
special allocated time.
Yeah, why?
Imagine you take 6 hours to find the other
So risky, so risky. It is risky, but you know, like when you are just in normal day life, right, you don't want to get into a fight for no reason. And like sometimes if you're not in the correct mind space or the mindset.
Context. So engage encounter, right, is like a marriage prep course that for Catholics, if you want to get married in church, they force you to you kind of need to do it lah before you can get married in church.
And if
It's
you're
largely secular, so it's not so much about religion and whatnot. It's more.
Yeah. It's like 20% religious.
Yeah.
And it's for those who want to get married in the church. It's one of a few different ways. So you can either do that, which is usually one weekend. There is another one where for 6 weeks you go every Sunday, and then there's another one where like you just go directly to a priest, and then the priest will just like handle for you like talk you through a lot of stuff.
That one okay what that one?
That one okay, but not everyone is friendly with the priest, and a priest has only so much time.
Right.
So like they were saying, there's like 3,000 weddings that happen every year.
Right.
So there's quite a lot of weddings lah. If you are not Catholic, there's also other marriage preparation courses out there that are secular. And actually not sponsored. MSF.gov.sg actually has a list of different marriage preps you can go for. I don't know what they entail, but I would assume that it's quite similar lah.
Based on nothing, we have no idea. We only go for engage encounter.
Exactly. But yeah, it was great. I think it was slightly different. So John booked in. He had to stay in there, right?
Wow, really book in mine.
So you went in on the Friday night, is it? Then you book out on the Sunday.
I think so, yes.
Oh my god.
So for us, right, because it's COVID, it was quite okay. We basically sit in there on Zoom from 9 to 5 for a Saturday and a Sunday. So it didn't sound as bad. But
So it's just one weekend, is it?
I mean,
it's just one
it's
weekend.
not bad.
It's not bad.
It's good. It's draining.
It's just very tiring. By Sunday afternoon, you suddenly like struggling to stay awake. You know, like again, like we sleep at like 2-3 a.m. at time. Then have to wake up 8:30 to prepare for the whole thing.
Right.
9 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Sorry,
pay attention.
You sleep. Oh, that's your choice lah.
My choice. My
So
choice.
sounded like it's your fault and then
It's our fault for sure.
Sounds like a you problem.
No, so we developed a hack, right? Wow, we should really get down to talking about the experience. But basically, the whole of the Saturday, we were like, oh my god, this is so tiring. by 5 p.m. right, we just crashed. And so what we decided to do was that for Sunday, we order lunch in the morning, right, and we eat while they're talking, so that when it's lunch break, right, we just slept, and struggle to wake up. Anyway, where am I going with this? I think it was really good because we talked about a lot of things that we didn't.
So they take breaks and give you all time, pockets of time to discuss.
Yeah, so they're basically different sections. Every is basically presentation by a couple, and then the couple will talk about their own, basically about a certain concept, and then they'll talk about their own experience, and then after that they will give you questions for you to ask yourself, and then you dialogue with your partner. So that kind of repeats in multiple chunks throughout the day. Okay. After 3 sessions, you take a break.
But it's like this for 48 hours, It's damn shock. Like I expected after my book in, right, we're gonna sing song, play games, take the egg, protect the egg, throw the egg down from level 2, right? No have. You just go down, you wake up at like by 8:30 you eat fish breakfast, 9 o'clock you're in the room. And then all the way until lunchtime, then lunchtime until 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. you go and sleep morning again.
Yeah.
No kubaya at all, no chill one.
Yeah, but it was good. It was really well run. I think the only problem is that at first we thought Zoom was a great call, but after it's just so tiring to be staring at the screen non-stop for like 16 hours. And also the thing is that because they need proof that you are really there, right? Both of you have to be on camera the entire time. You can only like leave for maybe like 5 minutes and then come back.
You know that there's a hack on it? Because you know you can do the green screen background, right?
Yeah.
You can record a video.
But then
for all the students out there. But anyway.
So like you have to either put it on loop. The timing needs to loop right. It goes from morning to evening. And then because you are not just listening, you also need to get to dialogue. So then you need to be looking at the right time that you're both talking to each other.
Okay, kids, this is why you don't cheat.
So yeah. What was the starting like? Like how do they?
So I think one part of it that was very interesting that we never talked about was like they asked you different aspects of when you grew up. What were important to your own family, and then it was quite interesting to get that insight of her life. Because I know about her family, because I've met them. I know what she likes and dislikes, but I don't know how what was important to her and her family when they grew up, right? And how was it different from me? And so they asked this early on, right? And then they revisited it. We came back to the topic, revisited the next day. And then they asked you, so what do you think will be important when you build your family later on?
Right.
And it was quite interesting to reconcile that. And I think it also allowed us to kind of talk about our upbringing and like what were some problems that we never even talked about.
For you, when you went for your camp, did you learn anything new about camp? Because you all have been together for so long already, right?
Yes. I mean, mine is very weird because we've been together for so long already. It's a weird thing in the curriculum. They ask you how many times you masturbate.
I didn't get that. But I openly said.
Why are you volunteering?
I mean, I masturbate 3 times a day. I think the question is not phrased like this, but it's more of your expectation for sex and how often do you read this or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have
different
friends that broke up as a result.
Oh yeah, I think you shared that.
Yeah. They realized that one side had a very, very high sex drive. The other side is trying to have sex with the person with the high sex drive, right? But the person with high sex drive just keeps masturbating.
Yeah.
Which happens more often than you think. And so one party feels really unattractive this whole time. Yeah, thinking that it's a damn problem. But actually it was...
As in the wacko.
Not wacko.
The wacker is the one that feels like...
No, the opposite. The partner of the...
trying, but then the other... Oh, okay.
So the other partner feels like I'm unwanted, I don't want. Like why the other party don't want to like have sex with me. But actually it's because that person has more than satisfied itself.
Okay, I can actually share this. So one part of the course, I can't share too much because they keep saying it's copyright. Please don't like disseminate the information, right? I'll talk about it vaguely, but one of the chapters is about
disseminate.
That's the process of extracting sperm
from someone's vagina.
I mean,
No, so one of the chapters was about communication, and then they give you a list of topics that you maybe don't communicate enough about, and then take this opportunity to talk about. So one of it was like addictions lah. And so when I ticked it, she was like, "Huh? What are you addicted to? Porn ah?" Then I was like, "Not quite." So then I explained lah that like it's not really porn, but like oh, I can't believe I'm sharing this with the world.
Yeah, I can't believe.
But like, mom, please don't watch this. Like turn it off. Okay, I know my mom watches.
Put a timestamp for your mom to come back.
Yeah. Okay, we won't put a chapter. You come back to the next one. Okay. But basically, I revealed to Nat lah that like I think growing up, I was addicted to masturbating. And like I remember I the first time I ever did it was when I was 11 and nothing came out of my penis. And so I thought this was a life hack. So I had a way to feel damn good about myself because this was like like no one told me. I didn't even know it was sex related.
And it's like self-figure out. I also like 11.
Yeah, why
Strange.
11. Then so growing up, and then I remember the first time like semen came out. Right? Then I was like, oh my god, did I break my dick by doing this too many times? And then I panicked for a second, and then I realized, oh no, this is normal. So there was a point in time, I think when I was like 12 to 14, right, where I think I almost did it every single day. And I was so addicted to it that my instant gratification, right?
Wait, like just out of nowhere, like
just say it. You're acting it out.
like you were watching porn during
No.
this time. Oh.
Because to me it wasn't sexual. It was just this shock feeling, like that euphoria that I managed to
you figure out yourself.
So then I think as I grew up, right, like even though I spent a lot of time single, I think as an adult I spent like 5 years single, right? I didn't feel like I needed to have sex with someone because I was getting that thrill from just like masturbating. And so then I think I also spoke to her that I think we talked about my sex drive being really low, right? I think a lot of it could come out of because of how addicted I was to masturbating and like how fast that could happen lah. Like if I want to masturbate and I want to come, I can just do it in 1 minute, right? Or if I can do it after like half an hour or so.
Sure.
You have to do a range. I can relate. No, I must stand by that.
Yeah. And so that could possibly affect the sex drive.
So since you're sharing about the first time we jacked off, right? I guess I gotta throw my story in here somewhere before we
no need. We move on.
So same thing, 11, 12, right?
Now the new student version.
No.
You don't have to.
I have to explain because it wasn't 11. So at 11/12, like primary 5, primary 6, right? My friends introduced me to pornography and like my first porn I ever see, right, is they print out from the school printer. It's some
school printer,
like, Japanese. It's some like hentai shit, right? That's all completely like pixelated.
Oh.
That's my first porn I ever see in my life. So I'm like, wow, this is
Wait,
lame.
then what for the yeah.
Because they go and throw around the school.
So back then it's press.
So then after that, then one of my friends basically taught me like you just need to like do this lah, do it. So then one day I go home and I like, hey, okay, let me try. I don't even know what I say, ma. So I go and try. Then I try, like, okay, it feels nice.
Just say it.
Why? This is the. You shouldn't be shaming me for.
Oh,
no.
Hey.
Oh, okay. So I don't know, but nothing happened. Because I basically never climaxed. Then I thought like, wow, masturbation lame, yeah. And I put that shit off for years. So I didn't masturbate for 10 years. Until finally when I was like, I think in poly. Then I finally go and try again. I try again, then like almost right. Then I'm a bit scared because I don't know what's gonna happen after you pass this peak. Yeah. So I put it off again for another year. Then final fucking year, I think around like 17, 18, then I pow. Then after that I join you guys every day.
Wow, so
I never did.
But goddamn, don't put it off, guys. Just go past the age.
Yeah, it's actually
why are you
strange.
telling kids to do it?
It's actually strange that kids need to learn that masturbation is shameful in a sense.
Which it is.
Because I've known many parents, right? Like especially their first child, then they get very weirded out that their kid is touching themselves. But it's not sexual to begin with.
Yeah.
They rub a pillow on their crotch, then they like, oh. So when they lie on the bed, right, they rub the pillow on their crotch. And their parents get really weirded out. Then someone needs to kind of teach them, hey, don't. Because there's
it's like when you see those kids at the public fountain, then they go and stand at the water and then
the water is on the thing.
Yeah, hit their.
I never seen
I
this
have
shit.
never observed this about kids.
I've never.
I'm not watching kids like that.
Yeah.
They run in front of me. Then I'm the guy standing at the next fountain. Ooh,
Feels Don't make eye contact.
Because there's this thing on Reddit that they say the iron grip. Have you ever heard of the iron grip? Basically, is to masturbate without the use of lube. That's really bad.
Oh.
Because you might develop the inability to ejaculate in a vagina. Because your hand gives you the iron grip.
Oh.
So we have
I
a
honestly
link to
have to
buy
unlearn
lube.
this.
The description box.
I honestly had to unlearn this. Yeah.
Ah, so you always use lube.
I don't want to talk about that. Moving on.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense.
Right, sometimes you take a very long time to come and then you feel like you need to use your hands for a while. You don't. It's because you're angry.
Must
You just need a little rougher.
Yeah.
So even if you use lube, you have to use the warm kind. So it feels like
I'm not talking about
it feels like the virgin.
Wait, so does your saliva count?
Whoa!
We are talking about like we are talking about warming your hands up, put a bit of lube, you know, get really comfortable. It's just let's get it done.
Fucking barbarians in this.
I'm asking whether people just do it like like iron grip is totally dry.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but you're not frictioning your hand. You're just basically using your foreskin. That makes sense. It won't make sense to you. Anyway,
Wow, this got
back to
this got really fun now, masturbation.
But it's okay because it's Singles Day and singles knock one out for TDK.
Okay, but back to couples.
why are we talking about engaged encounter on Singles Day though?
Just to make everyone feel bad.
Exactly.
When we first brought up this topic, right, to talk about, right, my whole life I've been in and out of relationships. They are like minimum 2 years long, right? Around 2 years long, and then the breaks between the relationships. Getting there. So, and then, so the breaks. Okay, so the relationships last between like about 2 years to and longer, and then the breaks between relationships for me, right, are usually about at least 2 years or so.
Right.
So I'm not always rushing to get into a relationship, but the pattern that I noticed was that I didn't know how to be single
Each time.
Yeah, something like that. And I didn't know how to be single, and I also didn't know how to be in a relationship. So
You didn't know how to be single as in how to spend your time or like
So what I mean by that is that every single time I got into a relationship, I was dependent on the other person for things like my happiness, for a lot of other factors. And then when I got out of a relationship, then I suddenly realized that the whole time that I was attached, I was neglecting my friends.
Right.
And then I need to restart again. And it was only after my most recent breakup, right, which was a couple years back, that I started to learn the meaning of
friendship.
like what I want and what I need out of a relationship. Yeah, which is how to be, first of all, how to be single, how to have real friends and real relationships outside of your romantic relationship.
Yeah.
And then when I started dating again, right, it was okay, how do I put it? I was always trying to be like, what do I need out of the relationship? Like it was a me game, right? It was my relationship. But then I think only recently that I realized, or I learned that it's about two people coming together, and this is a whole different entity. So I'm serving like their needs and wants from another person that I also need to satisfy, not just my own. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then that changed my perception of what I look for in a relationship also, which I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah. I realized there's a trend in that people that started dating young and in school, and people that started dating later in life. That people that started dating in life look for me. And people that started dating young look for what I can do more. Not necessarily we, right? But what can I do to make the person like me more?
Right.
Because when you're younger, you're a bit hungry. Like you want the relationship a little bit more than you need it. Yeah, and so you start thinking about the other person, like, oh, you don't like loud guys. I speak softly. You know what I mean? Like right now it's a deal breaker. Right now you look at social media and you find, oh, this person a bit loud. You don't dare to tell that person, I don't like people that are so loud. And even if you told that person will be like, but this is me, you need to accept me for who I am. But no, but in secondary school, you are so much more malleable.
You change yourself.
Yeah,
for
you
the other
want
person.
you like someone that can sing guitarist. Say no more. Next week I'll be singing guitarist already.
Yeah.
You know, you go through
That's true.
you go through that whole route of trying to find yourself. You want someone a bit more gentlemanly. You want someone that's funnier, can tell jokes. You want a confident person. Let's say no more. You give me a month, I'll work on it. But right now it's like, you know, this is me. Why are you not accepting me for me?
That's
But
actually
what do you
very
think
true.
about the point on you shouldn't try to change your partner? I disagree, yeah.
Go on.
Because he was mentioning
He disagree with herself.
I objectively.
What do you do with it?
I'm asking myself. So, then, no, like, I feel like if in a relationship you are not improving, you are not changing, then what for? What's the point? Like if both of you get into a relationship to be stagnant, so boring.
But it needs to balance lah. It has to be like what is that request, right? Like
Where is this coming from?
you've been scarred, like who hurt you?
Bought you.
No, I feel like I think it depends on what that change is lah. Like I think at the end of the day, you know, there's a cliche, right? But like if your partner makes you a better person and you change to be a better person, then it's fine. I know of couples where, you know, this guy.
How do I define what's better though?
So for example, like I have a friend who probably maybe didn't do too well in school and like maybe was maybe hung out with the wrong crowd, and then after being together with this person, like you could really see a transformation in his life lah. And like he got his act together, and then now he's a really successful guy lah.
Right.
And I think like obviously that's not all down attributed. It's not all just attributed to the relationship, but having that pillar of strength, having that support figure that says, yeah, you should be doing the right thing, not the bad thing, like that helps you become a better person. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like what you mentioned is more of you are looking for somebody that's similar to you or like almost mirrors yourself. But I don't think that is, or maybe not for everybody, but I think generally, right, that's not what you should be looking for in a partner.
You should be looking for an opposite.
Not necessarily opposite, but you need the right person that will be able to support what you're going to do, kind of facilitate for what you want.
As in, so therefore, someone that is wouldn't someone that's more similar to me then be better able to facilitate what I want to achieve?
Not necessarily, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of like blind spots that both of you might not see, for example.
Yeah, because your idea of change and growth might not look the same as somebody else's.
Yeah.
Or perhaps your lifestyle does not lead to your goals and you can't see that, but your partner can.
Wait, so does everyone disagree? Does everyone agree or disagree that you should change for your partner? Maybe the keyword here is for.
You should change for yourself.
I think the keyword is unfair. It's unfair to be expected to change for someone else. But I think it's necessary. Like in most instances.
Yeah. Like I would say I was a different person with all the girls I was with.
Who are you really?
Yeah, I don't know also. You know? But like say for example, like my ex-girlfriend before Nat, she was someone who was like super
Why are you?
Super like straight A's, like she's the kind that she's like signing up for all the management association courses. She's like super alpha type, right? And I suddenly became a super alpha type also. Like, and I'm not anymore lah. Not that I'm not that person, but I don't need to be that person.
But do you think you're more yourself with Nat than with the other?
Oh, for sure.
But you don't even know what yourself is.
I feel less tired of putting up, like meeting people and being someone else lah. And I don't
Because
feel
you are
like
just
that.
tired to find another relationship.
What are you trying to do?
No, because there are so many people that settle for a relationship because they're lazy to go on the hunt again.
No, but I think
all these people.
But also the opposite is true. I think a lot of people put off relationships because they think that there's someone, the one out there for
that
them.
perfect person.
When at the end of the day, I honestly think it's like you meet someone, like they may not be that perfect fit, but there's a lot of ways to like make a relationship work lah. And it's about understanding where they are.
I guess if you are perfect, you have so many suitors.
So
Hey,
then,
who's perfect?
But you have a lot of suitors.
But God is fair.
You're also not perfect.
no, then my question would be: is it a matter of meeting somebody that's as ideal as possible, or is it a matter of meeting somebody and then molding each other into becoming the ideal partner?
Yeah, so this is something we were talking about yesterday also,
Right.
about how the one is more made rather than found.
Yeah. It's over time lah. Like I think the second option also is a lot more realistic lah.
But does it give you the maximum happiness? Kind of like, you know what I mean? Like the
Is happiness really the real goal?
best,
though?
no, like the best match.
What? Happiness is not the goal of life.
So something that Engage Encounter says at the start is that happiness, at least in the Catholic faith, happiness is not the goal of marriage. Unity is.
Damn.
What does that really mean?
I completely forgot.
No, because like happiness and others, right? It's like all on you to find yourself on it.
Yeah, like the line, the pursuit of happiness in the movie, the pursuit of happiness.
Why today everything
really?
So
Will
it's
Smith
the example.
Will Smith talked about how did the founders of America know that happiness will always be a pursuit and not a state. Yeah, and that.
It's quite similar to, so like my late uncle once told me, like, because he was teaching me photography when I was young, right, and he said never ever say that any of your photo is perfect because it's never going to be. There's no such thing as perfect, so that you're always striving for perfection.
Wow, that's so lowbrow though.
Later I'll show you my
Stupid.
shit.
That's great. That's great.
You're assuming he doesn't follow you.
No, yeah, but you think it's more meet the ideal person or mold a not so ideal? Okay, not say not so ideal, but
No lah, I think I said this before. I feel like many people forgo 80% in search of 20%. But then when you have your 20%, then you realize, shit, threw away 80%. And you do that enough times, you're 33, right? And then the good ones are taken.
Actually, I have a question for John Pong.
Oh yeah, please.
So, okay, then I don't ask. So,
No, go, let's go, I'm ready.
so like you mentioned, like it's been quite a while since your previous relationship, right? You were kind of like figuring yourself out. When did it come that you felt like you were ready?
Okay, so it was like I usually have every half a year I will sit down and I will write down like a list of goals that I want to achieve.
Wow.
Yeah. So then
Smelly bullshit.
I'm serious. I actually have the document. Yeah.
Okay, share.
You damn nerd, yeah.
Later. So then one of the goals that I listed was that like I'm done like being single.
Why?
Wow.
I think
so
I want to find a relationship so that I give myself half a year to find.
Wow.
Then
but
I think
why
like a
did
few
you
weeks
feel
later
like-
then
No.
because before
So
that
you're attached lah.
no. But so
Well.
before that I'm dating. So before that right, I was like always like on like your apps or whatever, just swipe for fun kind, but nothing serious on that. I
Right.
also know my heart's not in it. So even if I had met the right person, right, it wouldn't have worked out because I felt I wasn't ready and all that. Yeah.
So my question is then, what made you want to get into a relationship? Like, what's wrong in the sense of being single? By using like quotation marks a lot this
Yes,
episode.
Doctor Evil.
I don't think I'm somebody that will be single. I'm not a single type of person. I think
you
I
strike me as a single type person.
No, I can be, but I would prefer to be in a relationship if possible. If it's the right person.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is there a reason? Is it because you're lonely?
I don't know. Like a lot of my friends, like this weekend also, I'm going for another friend's wedding. Right? Then as one by one, they all get married. Then like
Everyone come with plus one.
got like children, that kind of thing. Right? Then
Wow.
So it's peer pressure lah.
No, it's like after all we still hang out. We still hang out with friends and that kind of thing. But like it gets very difficult. And then there are different stages of life and all that. Then I think to myself like, yeah, like if
Think to yourself.
every single one of my friends gets attached already, right? Then it's just me already lah. Then I'm supposed to go and find like other single friends, man. Like it's a weird situation to put myself in.
So it's
But that's
because
not.
they
It's
want
not.
to be left
No, but it's not
out.
because of that. I want to be myself.
You
Both my hearts.
looked a little bit.
No, the more he start talking, the more he realized that.
No, like no lah. As in like to me, I feel like I would want to find somebody to share my life with. Lah.
You're gonna get a lot of DMs after this.
But not get married though. Just
Companionship.
like
And all the people
partner.
start unsending them.
You just need a friend lah.
For life.
Yeah, you need a best friend.
Actually, does your partner have to be your best friend?
No.
Really?
No, your partner cannot be your only best friend.
Oh yeah lah, of course. But
Opal's my only best friend.
But just now
Wait, then why you say no?
Yeah lor.
Huh?
She doesn't have to be.
She doesn't have to be lah,
Oh.
but she happens to be lah.
if she's not okay, then maybe it's our definition of a best friend different.
What's your best friend?
Like your best friend is the person that you can go to for anything, right?
Yeah.
I don't have that person except that.
No, yeah lah. Then Pat is your best friend, right?
Yeah lah.
So then you need Pat to be that person, right?
He's saying
No,
that, but that's circumstantial. Like
That's
it turned
for
out
me
that
lah.
way.
Oh.
But it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, like right now if you got a girl best friend, you don't need to marry her is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or be dating.
Yeah, but I think that my partner needs to be like
Right.
that best friend level. If there's somebody that I would rather go to than my partner, a bit weird. Eh?
No, but if you're having
I'm
problems,
just using this person for sex.
but if you have problems with your partner, then who do you go to? If you have problems with your partner, then who do you go to? If she's
Ghostbusters.
Okay, air laundry on dedication.
As in like, no, it cannot be your only best friend.
oh only best friend
Yeah.
lah. Okay.
But have to be a best friend.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, I
Okay.
agree. No, but do you not think, right, that the concept of best friends is, as in, that they are the person that you can go to for everything because they know the most. So it's just most convenient to then go to them.
No, I don't think they have to know the most. I think it's just like the way you communicate and how you support each other.
I don't go to Pat with every problem. Like, she's just not the best person to talk to for everything.
Oof.
But she's my best friend. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that there's pressure for people who are above 30 to like who are single to find a relationship because they may feel like spoiled goods if they are not
Yes, I have so many single
They're not
friends
in
going through that now.
right? And I feel a little bit bad lah. Like if you're 32 for example and you're single, whether you're a guy or girl, like do you feel like oh my god nobody wants me, I'm never gonna be married?
For girls, right? I mean, is it sexist to think that
No,
this
I
is
think
more
that
prevalent
it's
to
more-
girls?
Statistically, there are a lot more single people now than before.
Yeah.
And it's on the incline.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, but
and more
on the
women actually.
on the point of like why it happens more to the stress is more on women because they have the biological time clock.
Right.
Yeah.
But more women are delaying getting married also. More people in general are delaying getting married because they want to prioritize their careers.
Or I think it might also be there because relationships have taken on more forms nowadays. Like there are more like last time it just felt like okay you just find one person and you get married, but then now it kind of feels like you can have many partners, you can have like non-exclusive, you can like different benefits, like you can split up your needs in a way.
No, I think it's just that society is more everybody just cares more about themselves and their own needs first.
But it has always been like that.
No way. I think there have been times where people get married because it's the life plan, or like this is how it will work out best if you get
So
married.
one of the things that,
It's the K-drama
caught me
emoji.
about the latest Attenborough documentary, which actually we discussed about this months ago, right, is that one of the ways, because the earth is suffering deterioration at unprecedented rate, and one
Finite resources.
the very important thing that we need to do as a species is actually stop reproducing. And it feels like almost we have to put birth restrictions or even like culling babies, right? But he actually offers up something very amazing, very interesting, and so simple, that we need to figure out how to get education accessible to everyone, even the poorest countries. Because the trend is the more educated your people are, the smaller family size they create, smaller family nucleus they create, or the less likely they are to procreate. And it's such an elegant way to say, let's stop giving birth.
It's a natural contraception.
Wait, but isn't it that we don't need babies now?
For Singapore, for economic reasons. But economic reasons run out when there is no earth.
So not for ecological reasons.
It's actually very interesting, this topic on who's the first one to fold. You got countries right now that's talking about the climate accord, right? Let's cut down our carbon footprint by X and X and X. Yeah, I mean it's possible you do that, you cull your own industries, you limit your own production of your industry. You're instantly cutting your own GDP just because you want to adhere to the Paris Accord. Which will happen someday because the Earth's resources are finite. It's just who will be the first to fold, because there is no incentive being the first to fold if you don't have a solid plan. And no one really figured it out yet.
Well, if the earth end and I single, a bit sian sia.
You got my house on.
Wait, what? What are you offering?
Just hang out.
No, it feels almost like a game.
Not everything's about sex, Denise.
It feels like a checklist. Like I need to be in a relationship just to know
You
that
know
I
what's
can.
interesting also is that
Cannot be like
the uncertainty of regret. Like you haven't regret yet. I got single friends saying that I'm very scared I'm old and low. I'm very scared what if one day I want kids and I don't have a partner. Even Penna are thinking what if one day we at 60, right, and we feel lonely and we feel like we should have had a kid. Let's just do it now so we don't regret. I mean, that's one of the many reasons that we had many years ago, right? And it's like some uncertainty of a regret that you don't even know. But I guess that's the peer pressure that's inside our DNA to make sure we procreate and don't go extinct.
Wow.
if you all were single now, you all be like scrambling.
If I'm newly single, like if Pen and I break up,
Yeah, try but yes.
we'll have a good time for a year first.
And then start crafting your Tinder profile.
Yeah. I don't know, start first.
No, that is the good time.
Sorry. I thought not everything was about sex, so I didn't know.
No, yeah, good time now. It's like companionship, like conversation and shit.
Oh, and then hard one tough question.
No, so like I mean,
Just went for E.
like thinking about it now, right? Like really putting myself, if I was like single now, because like almost all my relationships, they were people that I was either friends with already or I worked with, right? Or I was in school with. So then I would think that my move, right, if I was single now, is to approach girls that I already know, right? Like either friends or contacts or whoever. And I realized that, like, wouldn't I go back to the whole spouse good thing lah, right? Like if like, oh, this sounds really bad. But like the ones who are single that are my age, like, ooh, are they okay? Like why are they still single now?
Why are you single?
Yeah. And likewise lah, like
Then just date younger people.
yeah.
Right,
Go for like
26-year-old.
oh, okay. I thought like an 18-year-old. I thought you were about to say like an
Wait, but
18-year-old.
you're excited about that?
No. Like there was a solution.
Okay, sure.
No, that sounds like a realistic answer.
Not a apparent solution for women.
No, like if you are 30 already, you still single, you okay?
I'm okay. I think I kind of plan to be single. Because in my mind like my religion conflicts with my being, right? So then well that sounded a bit sad, but
Yes.
and
Cannot say
it's like
sexuality,
the
yeah.
answer that's the word I couldn't find the word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I think there's some sort of conflict even though like how the community argues it is that there's still some grey area or whatnot, right? But then the same answer to me still feels like celibacy.
Okay.
Huh? Wait, what's the question?
But what about
No, but I'm
relationship?
sad if I was single and 30.
Oh,
So I'm explaining that
but
I
singleness
plan
and
to-
celibacy has no relation.
You
I
could be
plan to be
single and
single.
fucking
Right.
Okay.
I think I might actually just join the seminary and be a priest.
Wait,
Please.
Ah, yeah, you don't
Are you
even go to
serious?
church.
Yeah, I am like if I want to, I'm damn holy. Like I pay attention in Sunday school. I know everything you need to ask me about.
Really
the
can I ask
Catholic
you a
faith.
question?
Sure.
Confirm don't know.
I confirm don't know.
No, serious.
12.
Serious. This is your real answer.
Apostles. I think I might, yeah.
When
Why, ah?
you're not okay.
Hey.
How long do you think you all will need to find a new partner?
I think I'll last 6 months, to be honest,
Before?
before I get reattached.
But how are you gonna find, like, you just use apps, you go out? That's my problem.
Oh, he already has somebody. in
No, no,
mind.
no. I'm not like, I'm happily,
introduce you to
I'm happily engaged, but like, I think back to myself, right, again, like,
Why keep having to say
I know. I don't know how to talk to girls. I don't know how to reach out to girls. I don't know how
And then
to.
you stalk them and all.
I would be such a creep actually. So like,
You have your ways, so that's fine.
I mean, I managed to get engaged lah. But she like Nat also made all the moves. She was the one that approached me. She was the one that like asked me to go out that kind. And I just like, hey,
Wow, really lucky.
Sure.
sia.
really lucky. She
Thank
saved
you,
me.
Nat.
That
Thank
did
you,
everything.
She saved me, yeah. Not to say singlehood is bad.
I keep seeing those stock catalog articles about how like, oh, it's okay to be single, 7 reasons why being single is okay.
Would you rather be? Should I bring it up? Would you rather be single or in a bad relationship?
Single, ah.
No, there's a study on this
But it's such a pointed
about how
question.
being in a bad relationship right is better than being single.
What's a bad relationship though?
Like toxic,
Toxic, keep fighting, not happy.
manipulating,
But toxic
backroom.
is such a buzzword nowadays. What does toxic really mean?
Yeah, lor. What if it's like you're just broke, you know?
Oh, that's not toxic.
No, but what if that
But it's a
your,
bad relationship,
your partner is emotionally manipulative?
Like when
How-
you're in on earth does BuzzFeed or Talk Catalog explain its way out of this? How is being single
Yeah,
not
I
better?
want to know also. But wait, like
I need
maybe,
to open
just to
that.
explain to John, maybe when you are with the person you feel alone.
Okay,
No, you feel lonely.
in a room full of crowded people.
Oh my god!
God.
Is that the Lady Gaga thing? Wow, wow.
Is it possible to really just be single? Or do you
For
think
the whole
humans, or do you think humans are, we are built in some way where we actually really truly need a partner? And if you're single, it's just because you couldn't find that right person.
So like, it's being in a relationship just a construct lah.
Just wired into you.
No, it's just a construct. It's not wired into you, so you don't need to be in a relationship.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
opposite.
I think yes.
So humans can actually all just be single, no problem.
But
A
we
lot of
need
single friends.
Single
yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
and mingling lah, yeah.
I think we need companionship, but whether or not that is found in a relationship, may not be.
Like I have this admiration for like guys that have this 3-4 childhood friends, right? That you know they will see each other in their 70s and 80s one. Yeah. I'm sure many people have. And wow, I look up to that. I feel like that's sometimes more powerful than a wife.
Or because you were like 8.
Yeah. Like then it's one of those that have that it's powerful because you might lose your wife. I mean it's an eventuality. I mean it's not eventuality. It's a possibility that you might lose your wife. Yeah.
But the connection that you have between your romantic partner and friends, right? Even the closest of friends, right? There's still a difference,
There is.
Yeah. So is that difference something that is actually is it something that we must have actually? And those that don't get it are just they couldn't find it. You know what I mean?
I mean, going back
So
to
is
that.
it that they are very independent or is it they just loser? Is that your question?
Either loser or just couldn't for some reason they cannot lor. They constantly chose against it for some reason. Yeah, cause like the other day we interviewed this lady, right, like this quite old woman, right. Then she was telling us basically time and again she basically chose career over a relationship.
And
Does she
chose
regret
a
it?
peaceful life without argument over relationship.
So she doesn't regret.
She regret.
I think
She regrets, but she stand by her decision.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Wow, hey, you never watch the video, huh?
Oh, it's out.
Then that one really made me feel like, wow, shit, that means really need to find relationships.
Yeah, like when I speak, like I feel like there's an answer. Like last time when I on the journey to figure out whether I want kids, right? I asked a lot of people, like new parents and like, older couples, right? Like honestly, got regret. You got regret. Like I want them to tell me the truth, because I always get this feeling that once you have a kid, right, you feel like it's a betrayal to your child, right? To even secretly tell another human being, yeah, I wish I didn't have a kid.
Yeah.
Because no one will bloody admit that to me.
Right.
And I feel like I can see in your eyes you regret. I can see you are miserable, you know, I can see in your eyes. Not, I mean, most people do well, you know, most people can cope. But some people are financially a mess, their livelihood is a mess, their progression is a mess, their future looks like a mess. And then they are getting themselves further into a mess by having to provide for the child. And then they are carrying the guilt that they are not providing more for the child. And be like, oh shit.
I think the answer is yes.
And no one wants to tell me whether, no one wants to level with me. But yet, in a parallel, right, when I speak to old people and I ask them what's the biggest lesson, what's the greatest joy in life and all that stuff, a little bit to what we do at MOSG, right, 100% of them say their children or their grandchildren, or like their favorite thing to do, what brings you joy with grandchildren.
Right.
Because I wonder, like, at the end of your life, right, like, what is it that, like, nothing that you have done kind of matters except that this other human being that you've created that is able to have a good life because of how you brought them up.
It's like what Howard Stark said to Tony. Out of all my greatest creation is you.
With that, thank you for watching.
No, I
Did
do.
you say that? It's such a noob.
No, he didn't. But I went to in the projector scene. No, I just want to address that question. Like JP brought up, right? Like I think in my adult life, like I mentioned before, I was single for 5 years, and I had those friends at that point of time, and I still felt like something was missing in my life, and I still felt that loneliness.
I fell for my own 80-20 rule.
See?
Yeah.
But yeah, I still remember, like I think I mentioned before on like one episode, but I don't remember which one. Like I remember feeling so low in my life. I know you can own the I'm alone but I'm not lonely kind of thing, and I think I owned that for like 1 or 2 years. And I remember being so deep in loneliness, and I said to myself, if you ever get to a shitty fight with your future girlfriend, remember this feeling. Because ask yourself whether if you ever break up, whether you wait out to this feeling right now lah. And so every time when I had bad fights with Nat, thankfully it never got to the point where the loneliness was more worth it than staying together with her.
Wow. That did not come out great, but I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
But it did not come out great.
No, I feel like, so to address both of the things you shared, right? Like for the loneliness one, right? Like I felt lonely, the same type of loneliness, right? Even when I was in a relationship, right? Because the relationship just wasn't right,
right?
Yeah. So I don't know whether that is a good.
But so when you felt that loneliness, did that trigger you to want to break up?
Yeah, of course. It was an eventuality that I couldn't avoid.
I don't think I'm there.
Or like you think you're emotionally dependent on that?
Maybe.
I think I'm not good at being single. I can barely eat out alone.
Oh, seriously?
It puts tremendous stress on me.
Oh, I love dining alone.
I think because I'm a very judgmental person.
Okay.
So I just imagine like people judging me.
Just
But no one cares like everyone's just projecting their own shit, you know? Like last time I worked at Springfield, sell shirts in some departmental store, right? And then during lunchtime, right, the one buddy that sells shoe, if he had early lunch break, right, I would just buy a sandwich and walk around. I cannot sit down at the restaurant and eat. I will get a sandwich and walk around, or I go inside the shoe store and eat. Or sometimes I go toilet and eat.
We toilet dirty though.
Don't care though.
That outweighed the look appearing like you're eating alone.
At least that age of me, which is like 17.
Maybe because just you never practice.
Yeah, maybe. Like I will feel like I can do it. I mean, I've done it a few times now. Like.
Yeah.
Then what does your me time look like?
Yeah.
Work.
Huh?
Oh
No, I enjoy
God.
it. I really enjoy it.
No, but then that's not time with yourself.
Yeah.
Time doing nothing.
No, I tell you, the privilege of being an entrepreneur is that when going to work, you're building your dreams. That's the privilege of entrepreneurship.
So if you're single and got nothing else, nobody to work on. Start with dreams. Oh yeah, dreams.
I must say the perks of being single is that once you own it and once you own you're okay with going out dining alone or watching movies alone, right? It's actually quite liberating.
Yeah, you don't have to depend on somebody to be available for you, how their mood is.
But people have warned me that it's dangerous to get too comfortable with being single.
Because those people are projecting. They don't want to
No, but I guess also because you get so used to just looking out for yourself that when you eventually get to a relationship, it's hard to suddenly switch and think of put someone else before yourself.
But then that advice can apply everywhere. But like it's dangerous to be comfortable anywhere with anything. Then you're stuck boring.
If you're single and you're happy, like let us know what it's like lah, and what your secret is to happiness. Or if you're in a relationship and you're unhappy.
Oh my god, can you tell me why you think you are single? Tell me why you think you are single.
Or if you are single and looking for a partner and you want to like match
Oh
up
my
with each other
God.
in the
Oh my
comments.
gosh.
Just put your profile
Yeah,
down
yeah,
at the
yeah.
bottom.
Or if you like to go out with John Paul,
No, cannot.
you don't step on unavailable, you last.
So put your age, your gender.
Like you are.
Put your age or gender, maybe 3 things that you like, and then maybe you might find somebody in the comment section.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you watch, remember to drop us a sub and hit that notification button. Like this video as well. Maybe share it with a loved one. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
It's the Lazada Black Friday Cyber Monday from 26th to 29th November. Snag irresistible one-for-one deals from your favorite brands. From electronics, fashion to home and living, there's something for everyone. Plus, enjoy free shipping to your doorstep. Shop the Lazada Black Friday Cyber Monday sale from 26th November. Add to cart now.
A few years back in 2017, during a business trip to Japan, I had a chance to have lunch with a famous man who was making millions by posting on social media like Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I asked him exactly how does posting on social media make him so much.
No, I've been in relationships that are more toxic. And then
Oh, you've been in relationships? Okay. No.
you're attacking me today.
Did you know that there's something you can say to instantly divorce someone? This is your daily catch up. Hey guys, don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Hey guys, don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Hey guys, don't forget to turn on the notification bell. It lets you know when a new episode is up.
Hey, Dan, good job. One take.
So just the other day, right, John was sharing me this article which I can't believe happened, but it's true. So before 2017, right, in some parts of India, men were allowed to divorce.
We always go through this every time we did this.
Every episode,
They are allowed to
Separate.
get a divorce with their wife, right, just by repeating 3 words, and then it's done. It's complete. No need for any like contracts or anything. They just have to say talak, right, and they're divorced.
I was gonna say bitch. I thought that was. How cool is that?
I don't get it.
You just
So
say 3 times
anybody-
and then you're legally divorced.
Yeah, it's an ancient law that just happened to carry on.
No, so if say we are married right now,
Yeah.
and then I just talak.
You're done. She has to move out immediately.
New fun fact.
Dream
Can I
come
say
true,
it?
sia,
You
dream
say
come
it.
true.
Let's say you regret and you want her to marry you
say
back.
it backwards.
No,
Kalak.
She needs to go and marry another man, consummate said marriage,
And then talak.
get divorced with that man. Only then can she remarry you.
Wait, what if the other man don't want to divorce me though, because I'm such a catch?
Oh,
I cannot relate.
Talak, what does the word mean?
Solid question.
yeah.
It's a-
that's a good
it's-
question. I will Google.
This might seem offensive, but if I'm not wrong, this is a Muslim practiced by Muslims.
Yes. So like other Muslim countries had it, but
Did
they
you know
already
that?
abolished it long time ago. Like Pakistan, Indonesia, they abolished it long time ago. India.
Then
What
what
is
do
it?
they say?
Oh.
Then do you actually need to say the 3 counts?
Oh, so
No,
maybe we
wait.
got it wrong.
But the phrasing of I will divorce you with 3 counts of talak implies that I need to say it afterward.
Yeah.
Oh, talak means 3.
No.
Tiga.
Right. If you were to say at 3 separate occasions, right? Does it stack up?
So there's, there's no time frame. No, because in the articles I'm reading, and CNN might have gotten it wrong, right? But they said just 3 words could make this woman a single mother. Basically.
Because that's the clickbait type.
Yeah lah. But very interesting. So I just googled it. Talak actually means divorce lah.
Obviously.
Obviously. No, but what's interesting, right, is that it's been done, right, over text or even emails sometimes.
What if it was a typo or autocorrect? Then you just straight away
autocorrect to that?
No, like you want to type like
your friend
Kelly or something, you know? They accidentally autocorrect to that. Then you lost 1 count already. You got 2 more before you're out. No, but it doesn't make sense. Like, why if you're just denying?
Like that you ever said it. That's why I need to send message.
Here's the other thing. The news article by the one I read, I think by BBC. Women of India. Women of India rejoice, and only women of India rejoice because only men can talak their women.
Yeah. So women cannot talak.
What a patriarchal society!
That's a TikTok right there.
But the good news is
Next
that
year's
it's been abolished lah in 2017.
Oh, so in India cannot already lah.
Cannot
Only in 2017.
Yeah,
Was it abolished?
it's quite recent.
Okay, but progress lah. Progress. So,
Yeah.
Receiving that over text is so horrible. It's like no reason, no nothing, right? It's just divorce, then like your whole marriage gone.
Okay, to be honest, right? Say this didn't exist, right? If your partner threatened to divorce you 3 times, wouldn't it have the same outcome? No, sorry. The conversation I had with Denise is that, have you ever used a fax machine?
Oh yeah.
I've seen one at my dad's office, but I've never seen anything come through it or
Like in the world of when your phones was analog, right? And you cannot type A by pressing A, or you have to press like 2.
3, 3, 3. For C, not for D, for E, for F.
It's F, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly fax machine came out, and basically you can draw something or write something. And then the other guy gets the drawing. It's fucking magic.
Wait, so I draw and then I put it through my machine and then it comes out of their machine.
You just have to phone them, put it through like a scanner, but it comes out on the other side.
Can you imagine how magical that was at that time? Like some fucking Harry Potter shit.
Same as
SMS. Or like MMS.
This is an entire image that you can just draw in real life, as opposed to like drawing it.
Yeah, you are not appreciative. But I wasn't really like, why are we talking about fax machines?
No,
because you can talak someone via fax.
Oh. That was the whole point.
No, so on the point of just now when you mentioned that like if someone threatened to divorce you 3 times. To divorce you 3 times is like about time. So like on the note of relationships, right? Do you think that if your partner uses like, hey, okay, then break up, like if they say as a casual thing, right? Do you take that? Like is that a deal breaker for you?
100% deal breaker. You cannot weaponize your relationship. You're weaponizing the person's emotion.
No, what if as a joke?
Okay, of course can lah.
Hey, break up.
So you've never done it? Always.
You've always done it.
No. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
No, I've been in relationships that are more toxic, and then. Oh, you've been in relationships. Okay. No. You're really attacking me today. I've been in toxic relationships where I have weaponized it, or it has been weaponized against me also.
So you are the toxic.
But I've also been in very healthy relationships where it's a joke lah. I can joke around with it, and we know that it's not serious.
Oh, you know, maybe she actually really trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
But every time, then after that it's nothing.
I mean, it ended eventually lah, right?
You look back at all those times,
she's
like...
She's scared he's beating her again. Nah, I cannot be. I've double standard this also. Ted and I had this conversation of we cannot talk about breakups or divorce. But then I realized that I've then said it a couple times more. And my reason, which is an excuse, is that because sometimes in a fight, right, one party decides to shut down, as though whatever she say feels like has no consequences, and whatever you say, she don't want to absorb anymore. She don't want to listen to anything. Yeah. So then sometimes you just up the ends so that so that you can kind of almost provoke a reaction.
Yeah.
Like that's how fights escalate.
Yeah.
No, but sometimes I purposely escalate fights though.
I know what you mean. Because the relationship is a bit boring.
Then you want to
What?
like,
No,
whatever
no, no,
toxic,
no,
let's
no.
fucking toxic.
Sorry, I'm not with you, sir. How about you?
No, you
man?
go your story.
No, I know what you mean.
As in, it's down the line of like,
Who
I
is
feel like
this,
some things need to be said. If it's not said now, right, it's just gonna bottle up until later.
But that's not the same as saying trying to escalate a fight.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
Teach me, sir, teach
for a
me.
while, I mean like,
Teach her how to fight.
for the longest time in the early parts of my relationship with Nat, right, she used to like be like, break up like this end already. Then when she started,
you mean?
then when she would like start packing up from my place, right, I can tell that
She starts packing.
Oh wow.
yeah. No, like this is like we were together for like 1-2 years maybe. And then she like, cause she stays over
Is
my
it real
place, right?
packing or she just putting the
So
clothes
that's
there?
the thing.
Yeah,
It starts off very fast, and then she's about to finish, right? It starts getting damn slow. Like, why is she folding this damn slowly?
You are gonna cut out this story in post
Then
production.
I'm not. We're gonna keep it.
Should take out the previous one at 4 again.
So I would like look at her and then I'll just be like, don't break up lah. Then she'll be like, okay lah. Then I can tell that it was just a threat and she can't believe that I'm calling her bluff.
There's so much inconvenience to break up, you know.
That's
She has
right.
to change house
Two, 3 times, right? Her bags are literally filled already, you know, and there's like paper
Then
bags
she's like,
all
hold
her
me back,
stuff,
hold me
right?
back.
And then after that, right, after we're patching stuff, right, then she has to slowly put everything together. I'm just like, wow, this is damn fun to watch.
Maybe she just wanted to reorganize her
No,
closet.
because sometimes she tries to
Today's
win
the last day.
Yeah.
No, dude, you
That's
know,
what I can say.
The real breakup is the scary one. So when I was about to break up with somebody, one of my exes, right, it's the opposite. You will slowly take out the most expensive stuff first. Then you take out the stuff that you have to keep.
Bang eyes,
Then you
yeah.
just sieve it out a little bit, your clothing, a little bit your shoes, or that kind of thing, until you're ready to break up already. Then you leave a few that kind of I leave it. Yeah. Then you end it. That's the real packing up and leaving.
Like the things are already ready to go.
Then the last thing is just the laptop, you know, bounce.
You all been dating for a long time. How long has it been?
Almost 6 years.
How often do you have sex? In any other workplace, this is an unacceptable question.
Correct. From the boss especially, right? It's harassment. Okay,
Can we guess?
Okay, guess.
Once a month.
Once every 2 weeks.
What you think, eh?
It's closer to that, eh?
Yeah, lor.
It's like once every 2 weeks maybe. And it's me. It's not her. Like she wants to have sex more often.
Wait, you guess?
You're just making yourself look good here.
No, my sex drive is damn low. It's at
Same.
the lowest it's ever been, and it's not her fault. I think
It's a phase though. It's a phase, right?
It's not a phase.
It's because you
it's
drink
for
those
3 years.
big bottles of green tea.
Ah, really?
Fuck like your sperm.
Oh shit.
I read something like that. Where?
Are you serious about green tea? I drink it every day, yeah.
And do you wear briefs or boxers?
Boxers, like very loose boxers.
Then that can't be the problem. What else,
No, I just feel like men, right? Their sex drive is like super high when they're 18. When I was obviously single and lonely, and then it just dips down.
Do you think it's because you believe that that's why your sex drive goes down?
No way. Sometimes like even, well, I don't even want to say it. You know, like sometimes she's not around. I'm like, oh my god, I can like maybe watch porn and like have a little
knock one out lah.
Yeah, knock one out. And sometimes I just
I
go like,
I really and I will affirm you.
I sometimes just go like, nah, it's not feeling it. Even the sex drive for watching porn is like,
Oh.
no.
There's medication for that.
But I don't want to. Like I'm happy.
Why are you objectifying me?
Shut up.
No, like has your sex drive changed at all since
It
you're older now?
fluctuates. It
Zero
fluctuates.
now,
But I don't
currently.
think it's very low.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I need to moderate so that it's not
Too high
like
often.
crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh
Because
wait,
too often
you
it's
recently dated
unhealthy.
No, but is it like
As you need to moderate.
Shout outs to you.
I think I've been in relationships where the sex is just, you do it so much, it's just addictive already. It's no longer like.
Sure lah. I mean that's always like the first year or two lah, right? I'm just trying to make myself feel better.
how's yours?
Mine's quite close to yours ah.
Okay, but anyway, since you're both in long-term relationships, right?
I knew he was going to say exactly like that. Oh, is it?
I think he was written here like this.
And I don't think I've been in a very long.
What's your
What's
longest?
the longest?
16. 4, but then like it's like on and off like
I'm
months
still
lah.
talking about his
Wait,
Months lah, right? We're talking about months lah.
No, years lah.
4 years.
years
That's
is
not
long lah.
Someone get
Like a
married
break
in
up in between or some shit lah.
That's not bad, what?
But you've been in like relationships way longer than that, no?
Before that, my
Successful
longest relationship was like 4 months. So that's my longest.
Which is how long?
6 years.
Almost 6 years.
Nah, that's been long already. Is there a secret to
Right.
what makes this relationship different from the rest, or how you make it work?
Communication.
I can distill to how many things you don't know. Yes.
Yeah.
2 things.
I again.
My brain is a minus 10% all the time. The first one is that I got
I got lucky with that. Like she's like
Aww.
great, and I all the qualities I want, right? The part two was that I am disciplined.
Like
I
loyal.
am duty driven.
Yeah.
What's the duty though? Like for example, if you but don't lah, but you stab me in the back and it's my responsibility to take care of you as my colleague, I will. So my sister actually told me this like way back before we get married, that love is love, but marriage is a decision that you will make every single day. If you think about what are the biggest fights that most couples have, right? And if you think that if you break up for those fights, right, I would say 80% of the time is a damn stupid reason to break up.
Yeah.
It's just an emotional decision that you will come to regret.
I think I completely relate to you with regards to like most people break up, it's for stupid reason. Which is why every time Dan and I get into a fight, right? And like there obviously have been times I go like shit, like do I just want to say break up, right? And I start going, if you broke up because of this fight, it's fucking stupid. And so I go, no lah, let's not lah.
No, but do you not think that that fight was a build-up of things and not just because if I just think of that fight, right, it might sound like it's just this one.
But it could be a stupid fight. So like for example, like one fight that keeps coming back to mind. I'm so sorry for saying this again, right? So she's gonna watch it. Is that Ned and I watched the movie, and then it just so happened that my friend and his girlfriend was also watching the same movie. My house is near the theater. He knows where I live, and so after the movie, he just said, "Hey, do you guys want to ride?" And I just said, "Yes, sure." And she was angry for the entire night. Like she wanted to break up. Okay, so
Why ah? Three people watch one movie, one person.
And, you all guess the reason lah. Movie ended, right? The guy come up to us and just say, like my friend lah, he said, "Hey, do you guys want to ride home?" And I just said, "Yes, okay." And she threatened to break up.
Is it because you never sent her home?
She was staying with me.
Because you never asked her first.
Correct. And it wasn't just because I never asked her first. Walking back.
This guy very in tune with.
Walking back from I wouldn't say what I did, but walking back from that mall right to our house is something that she loved doing.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
We walk for 20 minutes kind, and to me it's like it's a Sunday night. I don't want to sweat. I want to sleep for work tomorrow already. Let's just go home the most efficient way possible. Like it's free some more here. And to her it's like, how will you not ask me first and then neglect our normal walk? Which to me I didn't know was a thing.
As in, I've had a fight for the same reason. Diana and I were hanging out with like some friends, right? Then after that, like we were going to go back to her house watch movie. As in that's the initial plan. But then when we got into the car, then she said, "I send you back." Then I was like because we made a joint decision for later plans, right? But then after that, like it sounded to me like she
gonna end the night with you.
No, like she didn't like ask me. Like her reasoning was that yeah, she's not. But,
she's not.
But regardless, I don't like being reflected.
Okay, I just want to point it out lah.
So,
But
like,
she's not your girlfriend.
no, like to me, it's like she didn't consider like asking me.
Yeah.
But then to her, like she explained that because she felt like if she had asked me, I would say yes. So she just assumed that it's okay.
I want to jump to a point.
Please do.
Which is similar
Yeah.
to both, right? That I think sometimes the point of anger or trigger might not actually be the fact that you never asked. It's more like she would have preferred to take that 20 minutes walk with you, or you would have preferred if you all have gone for date spot number 2 as opposed to go home.
What date spot?
There's no date spot because you are not dating.
You should trick me.
Yeah. You're not dating. No, but the fact that it became because you never asked me, right?
Yeah.
Is the excuse. And sometimes when I can see through that, I get very annoyed that we are not fighting about your moral superiority. You know what I mean? Like she wanted to walk, but you also have a say ma, cause it's your legs ma.
Yeah.
It's your Sunday also what, and maybe you just want to go home.
Yeah.
But she would rather we walk. Her anger was that walao, I want to walk now, I cannot walk. But the fight is actually why you never ask me.
No, I can totally understand it. Like I'm someone also who, if I went out on a date or whatever, right, I have the entire plan visioned out in my head already. This is how the entire night is going to go. And suddenly if there's a different variation to the plans, right, I get a bit angry also. So I can see how
that's me.
if she's looking forward to that walk and it didn't happen. Oh, by the way, you know the Tala, officially it takes 3 months to relocate to
No, but Singapore takes 3 years. But there's an interesting development about divorce in Singapore. So they're trying out this new thing, right? That's called therapeutic justice. So
Wow,
it's
like it.
it's quite it's really
sounds very satisfying.
it's therapy related.
When you say the name of it, right, therapeutic justice, right? It sounds like everybody is just like oiled up and being massaged, then they all relax in it.
By the
Then when
judge,
they say, yeah.
Your Honor.
So yeah, what about the child?
different
Yeah,
show.
it's anything, whatever. Anything.
So now they like kind of train lawyers in counselling also, or they will recommend that you have in-house counsellors so that they can sit in on your meetings, and then there's like a mediator judge also that's in your meetings with your spouse. Like in the past, right?
Like the divorce meetings.
So in the past, divorce was very adversarial. So it's like me versus you. We are fighting for assets. We are fighting for custody. But then now, right, it's like they will walk you through things that happen. So for example, fighting for custody. So they will help you understand that your partner also loves your child. So then in this case, then how can you split custody or how can you arrange things such that your divorce is a lot more amicable? They help you. It's like consider the other party also in the.
That's like a great job to have for.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
I mean, if you're trying to save a marriage, difficult, yeah, very stressful.
No, but by the time they reach the divorce lawyer, it's already not the saving part already.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right.
It's
so
about making sure the divorce is as amicable as possible.
yeah. On the note of divorce, right, there's apparently this, I'm not sure whether he was a psychologist or what, but he did this research on like he could accurately predict, right, which couple will get divorced. So then he came up with this term, it's like the 4 horsemen of every relationship. I don't think you need a combination of all 4. But these are common factors that lead to your relationship ending.
So it's like you see 3 and then the 4th one is on the way.
I don't think you need the 4th one already.
So it's not really like the 4th one.
So as long as you have 3, basically
Yeah, I think so.
you have these 4 factors in your marriage, probability of divorce is super high lah.
Yeah.
Okay. What
So
are the 4?
criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. So criticism is like you attack like the person's personality or character rather than the behavior.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like
You don't attack the character, you attack what they did
Yeah.
or what they said.
yeah, correct.
Okay.
Are you all guilty of that? Do you have this in
All
your
4 or
relationship?
just
No, this first one lah.
Criticism.
I feel like we criticize action, the behavior rather than the person. So it's okay.
Good thing. Success. So second one is contempt. Any statement or non-verbal behavior that attacks your partner's sense of self with the intent to insult or psychologically abuse her. Such behaviors include eye rolling, sneering, name calling, sarcasm.
Wow, jialat eh. Guilty.
That's why you're not. No one.
Eye rolling gets me. I rolled one and John and we ended up fighting really badly once.
Wait, really?
No, you I wrote at him.
Yeah, our biggest fight was because I eye rolled.
Cute.
And until then, I don't dare to eye roll anybody again. Yeah.
I used to have a friend that cannot roll their eyes. So
Wow,
when,
that's so sad.
no, so when they're irritated, they'll roll their whole head.
No, they just.
Oh my god, I do that!
Wait, you cannot roll your eyes?
Like when I'm very irritated, I crack my neck. Oh my god, you're gonna feel. No, but no, wait, I also crack my neck when I'm not irritated.
Now you know. Now you know.
Not my neck, man.
No.
Just nice, the next one is defensiveness.
He's showing hands already. He has this habit of cracking his neck when we're in client meetings, and it sounds like he's getting ready for a fight. It's damn strange.
Also, my neck very stiff. Like,
Yeah. Defensiveness.
We all know that. Okay, but it's an attempt to protect yourself. Making excuses, cross-complaining, yes, but. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
How do you resolve that though?
Confirm got butt, right?
So the antidote is.
No, wait, talk what?
Yeah.
Sorry, yo.
No,
I
do
feel
you
like-
all have ways?
I feel like every action has an explanation, right? So if I did something wrong and you found offense in it, there's an explanation to why I did it. I wouldn't do something for no reason. So it's just explaining myself, but it comes off as defensive.
What, you sound defensive now?
Right? I'm not saying it, I
There's
realize
no
it.
way
No one is attacking you then.
No, but I think the difference is accepting responsibility.
After the fight,
Needs to be.
during the fight, I'm not ready to accept. During fighting, that's the chosen activity of the moment.
Chosen activity. Okay,
It really is a
stonewalling,
great
sir.
time killer.
Lie.
So when rather than confronting the issues, you take evasive actions such as tuning out or turning away. So
Or
that you.
falling asleep. You know, I used to have this
How
problem
sia?
that when I get into a fight, right, the person very heated or texting whatever, right, I would just told. Then I fucking guilty because like the person will message me then like sometimes I told you the next day.
But you were sleepy to begin with, the fight made you
No,
sleepy.
the fight made me sleepy. Yeah.
Wow, the person fight
It's like I automatically shut down because I don't want to
It's damn
deal
hard to
with it.
fight with you, sia.
Yeah, then after that, then like the next day or some shit, right, then they will
Angry. Even more
better
angry.
to tell me you
Yeah.
fell asleep. Then I have to make up some stupid.
No, why would
excuse.
they think you fall asleep? They just think you ignore them.
Yeah lah. Say I ignore. Saying I ignore is better than saying I fall asleep.
So for married or for long-term relationship, do you agree that you should never go to bed like angry?
That's what Nat and I agreed upon, and we have
But-
failed at doing so like maybe 5-6 occasions.
Because some people cannot, right?
Yeah.
They need just the time to cool off. Then level-headed already, then they can problem solve.
Which is so annoying because I'm the kind that if we get into a fight, right, I want to resolve straight away. I want us to talk about it now. She's the kind that needs 2 hours. If it's at 11 p.m., I am going to fall asleep. So like that's the problem.
Ted and I would like pause our fights. Like I usually just say like I don't want to fight.
Oh, like Marshall and Lily.
No, not so dramatic. I just say I don't want to fight anymore.
Oh, what's so easy?
There's this thing that I used to tell myself that I must kiss her before we sleep. Because I wrote it in our wedding song.
You did?
And I've kept it up for like.
He knows the wedding song also.
He was my guitarist.
Oh.
Actually, we go way back. Yeah, so then I just don't want to break the 10-year streak.
Oh.
Wait, every f***ing night.
3 times at least.
The lyric in the song.
It's the lyric.
Really?
Yeah. We have not broken that.
Respect.
Yeah, I cannot break that over a fight because I want to 50 years later say this again.
Because just now when you were talking earlier about like fulfilling your duties and whatnot, and now you say this, right? It feels like you're just trying to not lose it. Like the moment you agree to something, you really just want to like make sure you
can see it
follow
follows
through.
but more.
Yeah. You need to make him agree with something, right? Then you will never be able to.
I've been thinking how to export
Yeah, I'm toxic.
Yeah, that's relationship. You all fight very frequently, like real fight.
Wow, I don't think we fought in the last 2 years. But the first 4 years is like, wow, intense. I've got a dramatic fight story lah. I can't remember what we were fighting about, but it's the implications that scares me. Until today, I still get very scared by it. So we were in Malaysia. Ned didn't have a roaming phone, and so she's like practically uncontactable if I lose sight of her. We were fighting in a mall. I think we fought so badly, right, that either one of us, and I feel like me, I said, you know, I'm just gonna leave you here. And somehow I drove, and there's no way for her to call a cab, there's no way to get a Grab or whatever, and it's so scary. Like, I'm from Malaysia, and Malaysia is damn scary. And I believe, right, I think she just walked away from me, and I just walked away from her. And then I went to my car, and I was ready to drive off, and I said, if I honestly lose her now, right, she might honestly either get kidnapped, get lost. She doesn't know my house address. There's just no way to. I mean, she can go buy a SIM card lah, maybe lah, but it's just.
But then she didn't call you anyway.
Yeah. So then I realized.
So
like I realized, like it must have been damn scary for her. I need to go and find her, and like, I think I spent like maybe 2 hours going through the mall just looking for her, and then she was in like Sephora just looking at like lipstick, and then it's the kind that I see her already, right? And then it's like in my feeling it's like, oh my god, I found her, but in my face, because we're still in fighting mode, right? It has to be like. Side eye, like, oh, you're here.
Then you eye roll.
No, but at least she stayed in the mall though.
Thank goodness.
There's nothing else she could have done.
She probably saw you coming from afar. It's like, quick, go Sephora.
She couldn't touch up.
So she actually running. She's running from you.
You actually miss her 4 times behind me. She gave me to do the big round of people. Then you walk past it.
Then how do you resolve it?
I think eventually we just like, hey, my mom asked us to go and do that.
There comes a point in a fight, right, when the fight gets so bad, you're not sure what you're fighting for. You all know you all both are hurt, that you all can just unilaterally, sometimes without talking, just by holding a hand, or by saying let's go, or like grab food, right, and that just ends everything. But it escalates to the point where you both know you all both don't want to fight already.
Wait, but then the problem doesn't get resolved in
Because most of the time these problems are, you know you're gonna fight again next month, or you know that this fight, that this problem is a once in a while problem. That you cannot just resolve, you know what I mean? Like even if you say hurtful things that I don't say hurtful things, it doesn't mean you will stop. Like even after we fight about it.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you watch, remember to drop a sub and a like, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
One-for-one deals from your favorite brands. Shop the Lazada Black Friday Cyber Monday sale.
My mentality, right, and I'm quite upfront about this one, is that I don't care about getting married and I don't want children.
No, but if your partner wants to get married, it's okay lah.
If my partner wants to get married, then like whatever lor, just do lor.
But you will cheat lah.
Is your marriage killing you? This is your daily catch-up. So the other day I was reading this study, and apparently men in unhappy marriages are 69% more likely to suffer or to die from stroke, right, than happy men in marriages.
Oh, my grandfather died of stroke.
Was he unhappy in his marriage?
What feels like? It does feels like.
So it's from the marriage, like the cause
from my grandmother.
Really?
I don't know lah. No lah. I don't know. But he died of stroke lah, and he was not happy in his marriage.
How do you die of a stroke? Like what? You just freeze, right?
What's the sign of it?
So the difference between a heart attack and a stroke, right, is the heart attack occurs when blood flow to the part of the heart is blocked, usually like a blood clot. Whereas a stroke is a brain.
Oxygen to the brain.
Yeah. When vital blood flow and oxygen is cut off from the brain.
Yeah, learn something new every day. Welcome to the daily catch-up, eh? That's not daily, but okay.
No, but bringing this back to like unhappy marriages, right? Like, isn't the solution just to get a divorce? Like, it feels like divorce is overly like stigmatized in some way. Like, it's looked down upon or frowned upon when it's often the solution to an unhappy marriage.
Yeah. Since we have a married man on the panel, why don't you share?
It's not a solution, right? It's an out.
I guess it depends on how you see it. Like if you don't know that you're going to be in a happy marriage, like you're only together with Ted for like what, 10 years before you got married. And
what do you mean only?
No, like okay, say 13 years, right? But you're going to be with her for like what, 50 years, 60 years.
Oh yeah, okay.
That is a fraction of the rest of your life you're going to be together. Like you don't know what's going to happen 30 years down the road, or 40 years down the road.
I know when.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to the fictitious territory. Okay, come, tell us.
I know, as in, what I know for a fact is 30, 50 years down the road, when I look beside me, she'll be there.
But how you know for a
That's
fact?
what a
though?
marriage is though. Unless I die or she die.
Fair enough. Okay.
You keep ending it very dark.
Yeah, that's right. No, but what I'm saying is that a lot of couples these days, they're together for like say 2 years, 3 years. Some people are even together for 1 year and then they get married. And they're going to be together for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
But you don't know whether you are going to be happy. Right? So, not to discourage marriages, because I think they're great and wonderful things. And I think there should be programs to help them know for sure whether they should get married. But if things don't work out, then isn't divorce a solution rather than seen out? Like what
I mean,
you seen out?
Quitting your job at a unhappy workplace is not the solution to your job.
Right.
Yeah, because you will be jobless.
Yeah, so you find another job.
Yeah,
so you find
another job lah. Yeah.
So cheating is a solution.
Cheating then is the.
No, so why is it not a solution? So say you got married in 3 years, after 3 years, which is a fine period of time for evaluation, right, of a partner for long-term commitment. And then after that, right, 2 years in, the person changes, you also change. Certain traits come out, the relationship becomes toxic to the point where you're miserable, like having been in a relationship that's toxic, right? Like, you can be pushed to the point where you don't treat yourself kind of feeling,
Yeah.
But why do you even get married in the first place then?
No, but you don't know at that point in time. At the 3-year mark, you don't know. Everything is going well. But then later on, as other things pop up or as people change, then it evolves, the relationship evolves. Sometimes it doesn't evolve well, right? It becomes worse. So then, in that situation, the only option should be to leave.
Toxic relationships caused by toxic people, as in, or is it like something that can be fixed? You know what I mean? Like it's like something that like you talk about it, then you can work it out, and then it will just not be a problem or less of a problem in the future, lah. Versus like letting something snowball, right, until like you cannot take it anymore, you explode.
It always depends on the context though, because sometimes toxic relationship doesn't always have to be because one or two people are toxic. It could be that like a lot of relationships start when the two people don't live together, and then they get married, then suddenly they live together and realize there's a lot of habits that they don't appreciate one another. Then toxic behavior can
This
stem
guy
out
is
of
speaking
it.
from experience.
In a good way, I'm really glad that I lived with my partner before we got married, so that we know about our habits. And like we don't do anything that's toxic lah. Like say for example, you suddenly live together with your new wife or husband, and realize like maybe he doesn't like to throw the trash, or she likes to leave her underwear lying around. Then you start doing
Is
like
this
toxic
still
stuff.
personal
Like,
experience?
Yeah, why are you attacking her like that though?
she's great. Okay. One thing that was interesting is that I was looking online and I couldn't find local like data, but I found like internationally, right, one of the reasons why people stay in unhappy marriages is because they don't want to be labelled as a divorcee, or they're afraid of the judgment of divorce. So they're staying in unhappy marriages just because of the judgment, of the stigma.
So people are seeing them as like what, that they were unable to sustain a marriage and there's something wrong with them.
Like a failure.
I think I've spoken to a few like divorced people. Divorce.
It's not a difficult one.
No, it's divorce or divorce. I pronounce it that it's divorce.
No, then go ahead, it's correct.
No, but the right pronunciation is divorce.
Just be free.
No, having spoken to a few of them, right, like indicating there that you have been in a marriage, you know, or that you have children, that kind of thing, right? It affects one, whether you are a guy or a girl.
I think especially so when you have a kid.
Yeah, but even without a kid, right? Like if I'm dating a person and then that pops up, right? Immediately I'm wondering like, wow, you went so far as to commit, and then you fucked up. So what if you do the same thing with me?
Yeah.
Right.
It's almost the same as like if you cheat before, then maybe more likely you cheat again. You know?
Yeah.
Do you all believe so?
As in the cheating one I believe, but the divorce one I don't believe.
Why?
Yeah.
Because the pairing change. It might not work out with one person, but it might work out with someone else. Like the elements leading to divorce versus the elements leading to cheating is totally different.
Actually, just your own self boo.
Plus, you might have learned from the whole divorce, like what you look for from a relationship, so you might be a lot more.
No, but cheating might just be that person's coping mechanism or escape or solution to the problem that they cannot face within the relationship.
But your
And it's the
coping
same.
mechanism should not be hurting someone you love, what?
But it might be the same with the divorce.
Wow, divorce as a coping mechanism.
Yeah, that means like rather than escapism lah, try and find a different solution, or you know, that becomes the alternative or the main solution that they go to in the next relationship as well. I anyhow one yeah, but what I do know is that it's a bit strange that there's so much stigma surrounding this, right? When 50% of marriages end in divorce. So if there are that many people that are already divorced, right?
Then what is the point of marriage?
Yeah.
Tell me, Mr. Marriott.
Like I always say this, right? That I think marriage is a very powerful feeling you get where you're both sign a contract with your religion and with the civil courts to say that you're going to be with each other until one of them dies. So like to find that 1 in 7 billion person that willing to sign that shit, not everybody can find somebody that's like, okay, I sign with you. There are people that are attracted to people for attributes, and those are people that when attributes change, and they do change, when life circumstances change, your attributes change, right? Why sia? Why sia?
I also don't know.
No, just now he was talking about the person changed after that he was
No, it's more of that point.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, then you become unstable because you're not sure that person that you like. But I think if you find someone that their value system and your value system is something you're attracted to, that matches, right? Then that kind of change cannot take place overnight.
I think like bouncing off of that point, I feel like change is actually very important. Like you feel like I feel like if you're with somebody and you just feel stagnant, right? Like you don't feel like you're growing as a person, like there's no character development, all that. That's also like, why would you want that?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to stay with someone that keeps me stagnant.
But isn't the danger then that say if you're married already, right? Then you're both growing, right? And
I
then
do
you all
like
change, right? But you all go in different directions.
Yeah. But then I feel like at some point when the divergence happen, right, it's a build up of
right,
not wanting to bring that person along on that chain already. Isn't
That's
it
so
though?
sad. Like as though like you're holding me back kind of thing.
But that one is really over time. You're thinking it, you're feeling it, then the opportunities start lining up in that direction. You feel like that's the direction you gotta take without her.
Yeah.
But it's
suddenly become very
No, but actually, what are the moments though that you will need to like pick one over the other? I feel like it's rare.
I think one person can be loyal with the right person. So there was a period in my life, right, where I was tempted to give up on my relationship with that because of her insecurity. Right? So it was a point of like I feel like I'm loyal by nature. But then there are a lot of things I still want to pursue and experience in life. Like back then my previous job is like party with the most beautiful people in Singapore. Wow, cannot go, must fight, 12 o'clock I watch out. And it's a running joke, the influencers know it. They make fun of it.
Yeah.
That I gotta disappear at this time. I gotta go in combat at this time, And I feel like I'm not doing anything unfaithful, but if being with you means I don't get to enjoy these life experiences, right? Then I will be very, very tempted to say, maybe I'll come back to you later. Let me go and experience my life first.
Did you bring that up though?
No lah, that's why we're still together, bro.
Now much later, looking back, like how do you feel about that period?
I mean, I'm glad I didn't abandon my relationship to party lah.
Yeah. But at that point of time when you were sacrificing the 70%, right? What do you feel like it was a sacrifice? Like it's difficult?
Yes, there are very little upsides in that job. Right? You work and you work and you work and you pay little shits, right? But then those are one of the upsides. Then I already do the work already. I cannot go for the upside. You know what I mean?
How come she cannot go with you?
She doesn't want to.
Like not her thing lah.
Not her thing. Actually, also not my thing. Like I never partied. My 18 to 21, I maybe went to a club twice.
Yeah.
Or thrice that kind. And pay ticket one. Okay, I'm very entitled lah. But I had to buy the entry fee one. Yeah, and then when I joined that, I partied more in that 1.5 years than I have in my entire life before combined.
Yeah.
Times 3.
Every
So the reason why I wanted to bring divorce out was because recently there's been an ongoing debate. So the Ministry of Social and Family Development, they wanted to get feedback regarding a new divorce category, which is like an amicable solution. So right now, if you want to get divorced, right, you still need to stay together for 3 years before you can even start divorce proceedings.
Right. I thought it was 5, yeah. Okay.
So it's 3 years, but there are exceptions. So the exceptions are if there was abuse, adultery, or there's like any like behavioral problem. But it basically allows couples to mutually agree to a divorce if they file as joint applicants. And basically it would allow them to say that they were faultless. There was a lot of pushback from certain NGOs, especially like Christian groups, saying that this is going to increase the number of divorces.
And despite being a lover of Jesus myself, like the argument is such like it's like
Go ahead, son.
slippery slope fallacy, is it not? Like saying that this will lead to this, and therefore we cannot have A.
Yeah, whereas Aware was saying that I think it's good to have this option lah, because right now women are getting married later, and so they're having children later already. If they need to wait 3 more years, if they realize that they're not the right partner, they need to wait 3 more years until they find another one.
Yeah, and there are already so many marriages that are not working out, as we can see from statistics.
Clearly, it's not been doing anything, is it?
Yeah.
Anyway, the stats are the latest one I have is for 2019, right? Every 10 marriages, 3 were divorces. Sorry, 3 divorces for every 10 marriages.
30%, correct.
I don't think it's saying that every 10 marriages end up, like 3 of them end up in divorces. It's just that for every 10 marriages, there were 3 divorces.
Right.
That means out of I know I'm going to be one lah. So my fortune teller tell me I confirm divorce.
Really?
Yeah. Shit and divorce.
You cheat lah.
Oh shit! Until I'm 35. So as long as you see me getting married before 35, right?
It's my civic duty to stop you. Okay.
Yeah. Or let me have some fun.
Or I will counter you. I'll be like, by the way.
So I actually saw this Reddit post, like this guy was asking, right, like, is marriage really that important? So like, would you consider leaving your significant other if they didn't want to get married? But okay, like say like you're cohabitating, right? But then Ned doesn't want to get married. Then are you okay? Like for the rest of your life, but you stay together, you have kids, you have everything.
Yeah.
But you just don't have the cert.
In Australia, they recognize this as a de facto partnership, and you have the same rights as a married couple. You're just not married.
But you just have to be living together for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Wait, back to your question. If let's say Nat just says that she don't want to get married, but we can stay together,
We can
and
have
you
kids.
ask her why, she say because it's just paperwork, so I don't want.
I'm okay.
Isn't that very sus though? Cause okay, it takes $100 to get married, so it's not a, you know.
Hey, the wedding is
You don't have to do the
$27,000
wedding. You don't have to do the wedding, right? Just get married.
That $100 and a piece of paper makes no difference to her. The relationship
It doesn't, but it also means that there's an easy exit plan. Isn't that quite sus? Like at least 10% sus to you.
I don't think it's an easy exit plan. I think everything that you've laid out in your relationship is the same weightage. So it's not that it's easier just because you remove this one step. It's going to be as difficult for her to leave him. Example.
I hope so.
If they were together or if they were married.
All she have to do to leave him is to leave the house.
Emotionally.
But now, right?
Technically, in
now
a
the
divorce,
law
it's
protects
just
emotionally. Now the law protects your relationship. It forces you all to kind of work on it. Try and resolve it. Go for a marriage counselor. You all got 3 years to try and solve it before you all come and tell us you all want to give up.
So you filed for separation already, right? You really think during that period you're going to try and make things work, man? Like my friends file, right? Straight away is I move out. I'm not going to see you already. Bye bye.
But I do get what he means though on like it's actually a bit sus kind of thing, because it's
like no hate for people that get that choose this life, right? I think it's fine also.
Right.
But in your 20s, it's $100 thing. Then you get married, and I say I don't want because it's just a construct, right?
Yeah.
What you're saying to me is that if we decide to give up on the relationship, right, at least not so much problem.
My mentality, right, and I'm quite upfront about this one, is that I don't care about getting married and I don't want children.
Yeah.
No, but if your partner
They'll
wants to
write off
get
a lot of
married,
people.
it's okay lah.
If my partner wants to get married, then like whatever lor, just do lor.
But you will cheat lah.
But the marriage won't mean as much to you as it would for her lah.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Fun lah.
No, marriage is not more fun. Divorce is more fun.
Okay lah, yeah, it's an out lah, it's an out. It's like I'm not feeling this anymore. Bye bye.
There should be more programs before marriage even to like try and like
engagement encounter.
Right, for like
which I shared on same podcast with Sonia. I gave her all the good stuff. So basically, for Catholics, before you get married, right, you must do engagement encounter. So I thought it was like church camp stuff. You know, like go inside, then we sing some songs, then like play games, like throw the egg down, egg don't break, that kind of games, right? Don't have. It was super intense. It was. We start.
It's the Lazada Black Friday Cyber Monday from 26th to 29th November. Snag irresistible one-for-one deals from your favorite brands. From electronics, fashion, to home and living, there's something for everyone. Plus, enjoy free shipping to your doorstep. Shop the Lazada Black Friday Cyber Monday sale from 26th November. Add to cart now.
Hi, my name is Tyler Lowe. I'm in grade 5, class EO5A, and I've been in chess for 3 years.
My name is Sophia Franz, and I am in class E5C, and I have been at chess since pre-primary.
Okay, my name is Mila Soleil Kempe. I am EO5C, and I've been at chess since first grade.
Hi, my name is Charlie Hello. I'm in E5B, and I've been at chess since kindergarten.
My PYP project is deforestation. Deforestation is when trees are cut, burnt, left to rot, or destroyed in any other way. So this art piece means that, so at the top there's a forest, and at the bottom there's cities and other infrastructure, so that, meaning that the time is running out, then so are the trees are running out.
My social issue for the PYP project is animal extinction. I felt strongly.
But even my house downstairs, when I first moved to this place that I'm staying now, right, there was like a gang from the secondary school nearby. Right? Then really it's like they were disturb kind. Yeah,
Wow.
that's why I carry a knife last time.
As many of you would have known by now, a secondary 4 boy has been arrested for the alleged murder of a secondary 1 student. This is your daily catch-up. Boom. So first and foremost, we would like to extend our condolences to the family of the victim. The facts that we know as of today is that the murder weapon was most likely an axe, which was most likely purchased online. The student was a 16-year-old who has had a history of mental health issues. So he attempted suicide when he was in Sec 2, and he was warded at IMH. At that point of time, because he's under 18, he is not subjected to capital punishment, but he may be sentenced to a life sentence, essentially, if found guilty.
Right.
And PM Lee has extended his condolences to the family.
I actually saw a post by Minister Chan Chun Sing talking about how, I think today they go back to school this morning actually. So I heard that they set up like care posts inside the school.
What's
with
a care
like,
post, sorry?
Oh, I don't know what care stands for. But it's like a mental health station.
Yeah. Right.
So people can go, they station like
walk-in counselling.
counselors, with trauma counselling like background and all that, so that any students who feel like they are uncomfortable or like afraid, right?
Or even the teachers or the staff also.
Yeah, correct. Can go and like get help from there directly.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. So exactly like what you mentioned, students who have access to MOE and school counselors who are trained in trauma management in particular. Because I think this is quite a traumatic event to say the least.
I remember seeing, because when I first got the news via WhatsApp screenshots actually, like it wasn't from news, so like there were screenshots from like the, one was a daughter or son I think, messaging the parent saying that like there's a guy like walking around outside my classroom with an axe lah.
So before the incident?
During.
Right.
So it was before the news
Before
got
the
there lah.
facts came out.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like I cannot imagine being the parent, like thinking like, oh my god, is my child safe?
Yeah.
Like right now, this moment, I need to take leave to go and get my child out of school. You know what I mean?
It's a whole conversation that.
As in, not the whole, like it's just one speech.
But imagine like the student just says, there's a student wielding an axe, and then because of like whatever's going on, you cannot reply your parent, right? And then that's just the last message that you see for like 1 hour. That's like, as a parent, that's gonna be crazy.
Like it kind of puts things in perspective when like there are multiple school shootings in the US, and at some point it happens again. Then you just share that post, right? And then you just say like, "GG America," for example, or like again.
Yeah. Like these incidents always felt so far away.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't gonna happen in Singapore, and then now that we have this, like I think it's quite eye-opening. It's quite alarming.
What do you think should be an appropriate response though? Like now, like what is an ideal course of action that MOE can potentially take, right, to show that they are like these are the steps that we're going to now do
to prevent this from
I
ever
wonder if
happening
they should
again.
have taken
How can you prevent this?
like what can they really do, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's I also don't think that they can do much because I think it's an anomaly, but they have to do something.
We're talking in terms of prevention or in terms of now dealing with the consequences.
So like in the US, for example, like a lot of schools now have like metal detectors. You have to walk through like the airport scanners before you go in because guns are legal there, right? And like for gun violence, whereas like here, nothing stops someone from just bringing a kitchen knife into school, or an axe for that matter.
I mean, they have a home econs room. They can take knives from there. So I don't think access is the point to change things also lah. Yeah.
What do you think is like the key issue though?
Okay, I think like first of all we don't know enough about the situation to really understand what's going on. So like until more information is provided, then we can really start to pinpoint right how to troubleshoot this. But I think from the beginning already like mental health seems to play a large part in this situation. Yeah. And like all along, I think I've spoken about this before with regards to I think like sex education, right? First of all, like we were talking about how like it starts very early about also educating the parents, getting them involved, and then educating the kids from a younger age, right? I think it's the same thing with mental health.
Yeah.
Like we don't talk about it. Like I never thought about it until I was an adult. With, not even with my parents, you know, with like colleagues or like with a professional, right? There's a lot of stigma around it. I think all of these can be addressed way earlier.
Do you think there's still that stigma now?
Confirm have lah. People paiseh to say that they got, to really say that they have like depression or whatever. I think or you feel uncomfortable saying like I need a break because like I'm having like a large amount of anxiety like at work or whatever, you know. Yeah.
I feel like there's kind of that pyramid. I mean, I don't know what is a pyramid now, sorry. It's a spectrum, right? Where at the ends of it, if you have nothing much to lose or you are very successful, right? These end spectrums of people have no problems admitting that, oh, I have mental illness, I'm going to seek help. I am currently seeking help. But then there's people all the way in the middle, which is most people, that their reputation, however good or not good, right, is so necessary for them to continue moving forward in society. And it's hardest for those people to talk about, right? Like you can have celebrity heroes that come out and say, you know, I have this, but it's not the same thing. You make it really, you got nothing to prove to people around you. Your mother don't think you are a loser.
During this COVID period, there's this term that was brought up quite a bit called languishing. Yeah, which I thought was quite interesting. So it's like you're neither here nor there. You feel a little bit lost,
but you're not burnt out. But then you don't know what you're doing.
So you're not being pushed to the limit where you really need to like. You feel like you don't need to see a doctor or whatever kind of thing. But then you're trapped in this middle state. Yeah. So then what do you do? Yeah.
Hopefully we start moving into a society where there's no shame like seeking help. Like I think like if you go to the doctor when you're not feeling well, like you should definitely seek a counselor or therapy, like if you're just not feeling up to it. I think like JP mentioned, I think it's about conversations of mental health should come a lot sooner so that people know that this is something that you should be aware of, there's something you should look out for. Because you don't realize when you are in a state where you can't control or regulate your emotions anymore, or it's too much or too stressed. Like, so I think you're right. I think more parents need to be talking to their kids about it. More teachers need to be talking openly to their students about it.
You know, one of the first things that came to mind when I saw the incident, right, was that once again, like the KTV incident, right, it could happen to me also. I had this infallible mindset when I was younger. I feel like I cannot die, man. You know, I feel like I can run faster than a car. So it's like when the bus moves off, basically what I've learned in the past is that I can accelerate faster than a bus.
Okay.
Right? But what I then connected was that I can run faster than a bus if I so want to.
Right.
Right? It's just,
I don't know where this is going.
I'm trying to explain the infallibleness. So I had this mindset and so I kind of refused to be bullied even though I was quite bullyable because I was very small. I was like skinny and short. In like primary 1, primary 2, primary 3. But because of this infallible mindset, right, I just don't take shit from people. And because of that, I got into a lot of fights with a lot of people. And many of them, right, are quite intimidated because they realize this guy not fun to bully. But very bullyable. They can totally take me, it's just not fun. There's no gratification in bullying this kid. And I had this period whereby, I don't know whether I bought it from the school bookshop even, or like Popular, because those are the only places I get to shop at, right? Where I have a pocket knife. It's not a pocket knife, it's like a blade, you know, it's just like 3 sections of a pen knife that you can fold into a plastic.
Yeah, and I kept it in my wallet for self-defense. Like that was.
Like your intention was that if someone really attack you and it gets to the point, you will take it out and.
Yes.
Wow.
That was what I thought.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then not saying that I want to murder people, you know, but I just felt like if someone bully me, I'm not take out the knife, I'm gonna stab him.
Dude, in secondary school, right?
Yeah.
For like, I think after Sec 2, me and my group of friends, right, we all carry knife in our bag, I just remember now.
Why?
Like a Swiss Army knife, just to
Wait.
okay.
And then
like yourself or some shit.
And then I remember, I mean, it's blurry how this whole thing happened. Maybe I pissed that guy off. It could very likely be, right? But I remember there was this, like, maybe upper primary, back in my primary school only, like maybe primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, that kind. Like this upper primary person was unhappy and whatnot, and it's a lot bigger, obviously. And so I remember being pushed up by my collar on the school fence. And that was a new experience to me because I've never been, like, bullied to this level. I've never really gotten bullied. I've gotten checked.
Yeah.
You know, people check whether I'm bullyable. But this one is like, he put me up, and then I really felt helpless, you know. Then, but he didn't choke me, like I could breathe, like, you know. He probably couldn't lift me up also. And I remember taking out that knife, like having a thought process whether I want to take out that knife or not. Then I'm gonna take it out now. And then in my wallet is the Velcro, the you got zip one, then you open, you take out.
Holding you up?
No.
Then
like,
you got...
At some point, it's blurry already.
Oh, okay.
Like, but I know this thing happened.
Right.
And I took out the knife, and then I put it out there. And then he quite matured, like, in that sense, that he was not intimidated by it. He said, "Wow, you want to stab me? Stab me?
Wow.
Yeah." And I didn't lah. I mean, obviously, like I realized that, oh, you know what, I dare to hold it, I don't dare to use it.
Yeah.
But he egged me on the wrong day. That, for example, my mother said, "Tonight you don't come home." Then I have no one to be responsible to anymore. For example, you know, if my mum have a mental breakdown at work, she come back, she took it out on me because I was a little shit, and she told me, "Don't call me your mother anymore." And I was feeling down that day, and that day he picked on me, and I was holding the blade, and he said, "Poke me stab me scared I probably might have. And my whole life trajectory would have been so different.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that there are so many factors, right, that we take for granted that, I mean, I'm not saying that this is what could happen, right? I'm not insinuating, but that guy, he did the most ballsy move possible, such that I will show hand, and he won that confrontation. As far as he's concerned, right, the next time someone's gonna take a knife to him, he's gonna do the same thing, and he's gonna say, "Stab me You know what I'm saying?
Because you worked the first day.
Yeah. And for the most part in Singapore, especially, these things works, you know.
Wait, so then after he says stab me, then you never do anything, then
I never lah.
Then he slap you around.
No lah, I think I hold the knife and walk away. I don't know. But obviously I didn't stab him lah.
But then back to the point of like you using the example of bullying, right? And us talking about earlier on about how creating a safe space, right? Is that when you get bullied and you get traumatized by the bullying, is that you don't hold that grudge and hold that fear, right? Throughout the rest of your life or throughout the rest of your childhood. Is that you can go home and talk to your parents about it. Is that you can go home or you can talk to a counselor about it when it's time. Or even your form teacher, for example. You know what I mean? Like I think that is the change that I don't know whether we would see today. Like if, for example, in today's context, it's if you get bullied on Instagram, like this bunch of people keep like making like shitty comments and like talking about my pimples or whatever kind of thing, right? Then maybe in your head it's something that's too lame to complain about, but it's affecting you every day, you know. Yeah. Will you be comfortable to talk about it to? Who will you be comfortable to talk about it to? You know what I mean?
I think on that same point, right, it really comes as like the conclusion I'm drawing is that it really comes as a like breaking point kind of thing. Like small things can build up, Like you say, if that day nothing happened, it's okay. If something else had caused a build up, you might have had the outburst.
Just snap.
And yeah, linking it back to this article where people are saying that it's really, he don't even know the guy allegedly. It really just seemed like he couldn't take things anymore, and then after that he had outbursts. I feel like that is like my main concern, because then I'm wondering, like, then anybody could have this outburst, right? Then that prevention thing, like, how does it work? Yeah, but then like drawing it back to the mental health, like educating them and then teaching people how to process their emotions better, I think is definitely like a good step forward.
Yeah, because somebody was drawing up, like, back to your point, right? Like, somebody was drawing up that, like, in recent times, a lot of people losing their shit. Then got like more killings, more like...
The Ang Mo Kio one also. Yeah.
A lot of this shit happening in Pongo, I just want to say.
Just Sumang
specifically.
Wait, there was the runner, right? The guy who went out for a jog and then he just got killed.
It's like
That's also Punggol.
It's like a 5-minute run from
At your house?
my block.
Near.
Yeah.
Near, very near.
And you run quite a lot also, right?
I don't run that exact route. I go
Right,
further,
right.
then I start running.
During my time in secondary school, right? Like people carry parang, right?
Yeah.
Their
People
bag.
carry knife, yeah, to
Yeah.
school. Then or
And they hide it around school.
Yeah, outside,
Oh,
just
wow.
outside the school, the HDB across, right? You go to the second floor, the
Yeah.
staircase, they got pole there, everything ready to whack you. Right? Yeah.
Because most of their fights and arguments happen with a rival gang in their own school.
Yeah,
so they just need
neighboring schools
access.
or whatever. Yeah. So it's like,
Wow.
but then because of all this, right? I don't know what changed lah. Maybe over time, like for example, Singapore surveillance increased a lot, right? Now every staircase got camera, everywhere got camera. Then people just scared. But is this added layer that they implemented throughout slowly, right? Now, there are less and less of this already, lor. At least like that you hear of, lah. But back then it's like, I know like multiple people that you walking home right at night, right? If a group of guys sitting at the void deck near your house, right? Say the HDB they're walking past, right? And they're not happy or they don't like you or they want to just around you, right? You end up getting slashed, you know? Yeah.
Shit.
Now I don't feel that as much lah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But even my house downstairs also, when I first moved to this place that I'm staying now, right? There was like a gang from the secondary school nearby one. Then really it's like they will disturb kind of. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I carry a knife last time.
I totally cannot imagine a Singapore that's like that.
Yeah. So, on a related note on this story, a student from RV shared on Wake Up Singapore, basically DM Wake Up Singapore, and shared that how they found the coverage and the reports on the news a bit distasteful because they had told reporters when they were leaving school that they didn't want to be video or photographed, but then they still saw their faces on the news, and it felt like it was a bit traumatizing because, I mean, added on to the trauma, they really wanted to move on from it, they wanted to go home, and then they still keep seeing their faces like associated with the whole like incident lah. Which goes back to like an interesting point about, I think there was an online discussion about what are the ethics that comes into
Like
play
how
here.
reporters should have reacted, is it? Or like should they have gone up to them and still tried to interview them even when they decline?
Yeah, because like I put myself in the reporter's shoe, right? Like there is a craving for information at that point of time. Everybody's checking forums, everyone's checking hardware zone on Reddit, and like my job is to find out the facts and to provide visuals to accompany those facts. So I'm trying to take whatever I can. But then I also understand the ethics behind it, like, because a student, first of all, the students have already gone through so much. And the last thing we want to do is to like remind them of what's happening. I'm sure the reporter is not going to be like, hey, let me take this kid's photo. But there's also that element in play lah. Like, so I think it's a very, very difficult situation for a reporter to be in. I've just checked PDPA, which is the Privacy Data Protection Act, right? Or you don't need to get consent from someone if they are in a public space because it's publicly available information or data. But does that make it right?
I feel like I can see both sides though, because on one hand, the reporters, like I mentioned also, all the stuff that I was getting was rumors from WhatsApp, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so in a sense, right, is the reporter not right in getting facts, right? Like interviewing people who were actually there, and then
like ethical grey lah.
Yeah, correct. But then at the same time, I can see how traumatizing it is for the students and all that to like have gone through this and then come out and be hounded by reporters also. I feel like it is likened to like paparazzi, that kind of thing, like overseas when they're like chasing down like celebs and all that. Then what is the ethics in that also, right? Like so, drawing the conclusion, like it seems like that. I feel like there's a way to be respectful while trying to look for like the facts. Like if people say they don't want, then just really don't video them.
Yeah.
I don't think they were wrong in going up to people to ask whether they were open to an interview. But I think they were wrong. They were wrong that like they continued to video and then they still saw their faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the problem the reporters? Is it the news organization, or is it like the audience? Because this is like what we're craving for, right? We're craving for that news, that information, like as soon as possible.
So the other issue with news in general is that like over time the incentive for news in general has become to entertain in order to have to capture more of your attention span and your time so that they can make more money on ads and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And that factor has played a large part in affecting the quality of our news also, right? Everybody is racing to be the fastest to report something, and the most sensational titles get the most views also, and clicks and shares and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is that the right way for news to go separate from entertainment?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that this distinction alone has caused like a lot of misinformation.
Yeah.
It has caused us to behave very strangely and very reactionary. Like I think a few days or a few weeks ago, there was the report of like 200,000 new cases of like COVID or some
like
shit.
quarantine for
And
KTV.
then everybody reacted to it. Like, whoa, they were all make a lot of noise. Then like what, 15-30 minutes later, then they say, oh sorry,
Typo. Yeah.
Then everybody like, oh okay, cool.
Or maybe it's on purpose so that you won't be shocked by the 2,000.
Oh shit, it's just
But anyway, I think it goes down to monetization. Because it's like, if I get the most clicks, most advertisers will want to come to me and I'm earning the most money. So what are the ways to get the most clicks? Then you'll be down this scandalous route and all that.
It also applies the other way. Like I think for broadsheets, which is usually like the opposite of tabloids, right? Newspapers that talk about more serious stuff and are always a lot more factual, like New York Times, Washington Post, they're losing their funders because people are just not interested in this kind of news, right? Like people are more interested in tabloids, people are more interested in like sensational news. So then if they can't get money from those type of news, it's easy for them to just go down the route of just getting the most clicks. And I think the problem about this is it's just how we progress as humans, right? Now that we have internet, now that we have cable, 24 hours news and with like CNN and things like that, like we are no longer waiting for the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock news. We're no longer waiting for the morning paper because we're getting news on demand. So if we are the ones in power now than the news channels, we are the ones that just want to be in that echo chamber. We want to read what we want to read. The power is in our hands. So like, I feel.
Is it really though? Have we ever been in control of what we really need?
No, but if you don't want to read, then you just don't read.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because we continuously reward this behavior.
Exactly.
By giving it our attention.
Yeah, but do we really have that free will to decide this? Or is it that they're just shoving it down our throats everywhere that we look?
But I think
we have a choice but to follow this behavioral pattern.
I think they're shoving it down because they know that people like these kind of news.
It's like scrolling, right? Like on Facebook. They make it so addictive that you just keep scrolling on TikTok, for example.
Correct. It's like when you press back and you want to
you
exit
feel like you
Instagram.
don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Because they make it so addictive.
Correct.
But then at the end of the day, they found out how to make it addictive to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So
uninstall lah.
you are under the addictive control of whatever they're putting out. But as people in general, we are the ones that are demanding this.
No, so my question then would be, if say news wasn't incentivized and paid for by ads, right? And the clicks and the viewership and all that kind of thing won't affect it, right?
Would news be different?
If news is a public service.
If it was funded by the government,
in Singapore lah.
people would say that it's biased because the government owns it.
Yeah.
Well, there's like no way around.
It's really hard because like you look in other countries, most of the top publications are owned by billionaires. Yeah, and they just like passion project these things. But then the billionaires have multiple businesses. Then they have multiple vested interests as well.
They have their own agendas. Like if you look at the Rupert Murdoch media, they are always notorious for being kingmakers, especially in the UK. Like whoever he supports on his newspapers usually end up being prime minister.
Right.
I was watching this Korean drama long ago, so that it sounds
Allegedly.
fishy, but it has a good conclusion. I'm getting there. So like I realized there was a moment where I realized the power of news. Because the drama was about the owners of the news company, and then they decide what gets published. So set in Korea, so there's a lot of people and like political games and all that kind of stuff. So same as that, like whoever they support and all that based on the news that they choose to publish or choose to ignore, then that decides the narrative that everybody is consuming. So then that was when I realized that like wow, news really shapes the way that everybody thinks, right? And so in that, like going back to your free will thing, right, it is up to me to choose what I consume or maybe even when I consume it,
and
right?
from which outlets lah.
And from which outlets. So like this morning also, John Paul was just talking about how news that we read like two weeks later, when we read back, right, we can see how all the facts start slowly coming out, and then we have a much clearer picture of things also.
Right.
So for this kind of more sensational issues, it might also be our own choice.
And if you look back on this news, right, the
Yeah.
things that you react to 5 times a day, right, it actually doesn't affect you.
affect your life
at all.
Yeah.
Wake Up Singapore just shared something that students from RV are sending in to them on their first day of school back. They're saying that the care program for us is it's not great lah.
Oh no!
They're calling
I
it
just had such high hopes for it.
Yeah, they're calling it a measly 2-hour program. It's basically a worksheet that they fill with like check marks and emoticons, and it's like, while they appreciate the effort, this person is saying that it feels like it's not very well thought out.
Wait, so as in it's not the one-to-one kind of counselling?
It seems like a group effort that's taking place.
But
So
thousands of them though, how to one?
Okay, they have one day to put together this. But I don't know, man. I feel like the administrative of it, I don't know why I'm defending it, right? But I feel like the administrative things of this is a lot. It's pretty much unprecedented.
Yeah.
And you got like one day and you got... I can see why, like perhaps the argument of let's send them home for a week, let them process this, cultivate happier memories with their family before going back and dealing it with life on the murder scene, for example. But I could see also that because of the work from home situation, everyone is stressed out, your parents are working, they could see as it's better if, for example, they are around their peers, and better if they can attend this kind of school created programs.
Because you don't know what's the arrangement at home, so you might just be left alone at home, and that's even worse.
Right.
I mean, I would just think it's not easy. It's just really difficult to be able to put something together.
Yeah.
Because there's like we talk about it now. What can we do to prevent this from happening? And wow, we realize damn hard.
Yeah.
Like it's a generational paradigm shift that's required. What can we do to help the students? No correct answer, leh.
I think one thing that we know for sure is that because it's unprecedented, right? We don't really normally have this incident, so that's why I guess there's some level of unpreparedness.
Yeah.
But from this, hopefully no other incident like this happens again. But if it does, we'll be a little bit more prepared in like helping the kids and like helping everyone get through it, lah.
Yeah. Okay, so I was having this conversation with Pat, and Pat's birthday is coming up. So happy advance birthday to my wife, right? But she was quite sad. She was quite sad
On this episode.
on like a bunch of stuff. Like she was distraught by the news. You know, she feel like, oh my god, it's so scary. Like what these students have to go through. Imagine the teachers going to work in a place like this also. She also don't know how to help moving forward. And like because of her birthday, then because of the KTV cluster, then her birthday was like pretty much cancelled in that sense. Like I had this thought while going on a run, right, that many people feel the need to just articulate their thoughts on a public forum, knowing that it's gonna piss a lot of people off. It has no value. Like this is what I told my wife, that in the grand scheme of things, like something that happened and now you don't get to celebrate your birthday, right? Whether or not it's whichever incident, right? How you feel and how it affects you, right? 99.9% of the time is of least importance, right? Like I would like to encourage people to kind of do a self exercise on empathy, right? To think about what if you're the student, what if you're the teacher, what if you're the murderer, what if you're the student that what if it's your husband getting caught, what if you are the hostess that came to Singapore to seek a livelihood to protect their family, or to seek refuge because your country is ravaged by the disease and they cannot control. What if you are that? Because I think many of us are not those people by virtue of we are born in the right country, or that we were raised by like nice parents. Yeah, and that has nothing to do with your self-discipline. That is your entirely your circumstance. Yeah, and to put yourself in people's shoes and realize that how you feel about how it affects you and how you feel about almost every situation that you react to on the news, right? Whether or not you think it's big news, small news, right? How you feel and how it affects you matters possibly the least in the grand scheme of things. So like, shut up.
Yeah, really, shut the fuck up. Like, and Denise also brought up something like how.
Yikes! What did I say?
I thought you wanted to shut up.
No. She basically brought up the point that like, if you're gonna make a comment, right, you're gonna say something, right? Like, just picture the victim's mom in the room with you now. Would you still say what you're gonna say? Yeah.
Granted, we are weighing in on this.
Yeah, but I think we have takeaways. So like one is the importance of like being able to talk to your parents about mental health. So Singapore has to create that environment, right? Like us as a society has to do that. Secondly, to be conscious about the news that we choose to consume because we have that free will. I believe lah. Yeah, and thirdly, empathy.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Enjoy free shipping. Shop the Lazada Black Friday Cyber Monday sale.
They are so emboldened, right, that what is fun to them, right, is that, you know, we drink the pink dolphin and then we take the bottle cap, right? They just shoot at the teacher when he turned his head, right? And then he just turned back and he said, who? Then it was an old man someone.
Do you also like to create fake WhatsApp messages just to get attention? This is your daily catch-up.
So just over the weekend, John sent me this screenshot leaked WhatsApp message of like a conversation between an IT student and her old tuition teacher. Alleged leak lah. Alleged. So basically, the tuition teacher, tuition. I'm just gonna say tuition. The tuition teacher was asking her former student, "Hey, what JC are you in now?" Because she wanted like a testimonial, and then the student was like, "I'm an ITE," and then the teacher just started like berating about how you're a disgrace, like.
Then the person said, "Oh, how can you like waste your parents' money? You embarrass them."
But I think the branding of IT has improved a lot over the last like 5 to 10 years. Like, they are now like a place where you learn, like it's more hands-on. You acquire a special skill set that allows you to get very specific jobs and whatnot, right? Yeah, I think it's quite cool. And there are a lot of success stories coming out of IT also.
From what we've seen from the leak message, so it was shared on this like IG handle, Black Belt Clan, essentially. They're an education company.
The name is Black Belt Clan.
They're an education company, and like they basically create courses online. And so when that alleged leak was leaked and posted on their IG, a lot of comments started to roll in about IT success story. And people saying that why are people looking down IT? Because there's a lot of successes. So about a day later, right, allegations of like the message being actually fabricated started to like roll.
And so it's the company's publicity stunt, is it?
Yeah, so people started to get skeptical, and also when John sent me, my first reaction was like, "Hey, is this fake?" Because it feels very weird, the conversation. And then John also like agreed.
My first reply is also fake, but then I sent him.
Well, that's how all the fake news spread.
Correct. But yeah, so like people felt like it was just a little bit odd, like the way how the teacher was asking for this, and like you also would say like, "Hey, where you study?" instead of like, which JC are you in? Like it's so presumptuous.
And it's like, if you are the tuition teacher and that person didn't go to JC, isn't it your fault though?
I was gonna bring that up also.
But it's fake lah. I'm so sure it's fake.
Yeah,
because confirm already, man.
No.
So before that post, they had previous posts also talking about how IT gets a bad reputation and like how they're trying to recorrect the perception. And so they have like quite like a few goodwill projects of trying to like educate.
Also, it's a good company, but then the stunt just a
Yeah,
disaster.
the problem is in the execution. But if I'm not wrong, they also never upfront say that this text message is a reenactment.
Yeah, because they said that this was a text message that one of the Black Belt Clan like staff members received. Like it was received from a friend.
Hey, they are nice companies.
Hey, yeah, they are nice people.
They are nice people.
But their abbreviation is BBC lah.
Hey, childish, why are you laughing?
Oh my god, the name has been affecting me since the start.
The only thing he heard was the name.
Why will you do that? Who's the
On
idiot
purpose
that
one, what?
named this company?
On the genius.
No, but I think at the end of the day, what people have been saying is that I think initially people were giving hate for being fabricated, but fabricated or not, right? IT students have come out and said that this is not new. They suffer this discrimination anyway every day. And like I think it begs the question of like does education or like where you study like still matter lah, and like why are people hating on people that are going to IT? Yeah.
So was the clan the one that leaked it?
They posted it on their Instagram.
No, so the theory is that they made it up, this whole thing.
Yeah.
But it is true, as in like what we mentioned just now, that there is this bad connotation to the ITE name. But as in, does that still matter anymore? Like what school you go to, or?
Yeah, because like I think another post that they had was that a common story that they receive from students is that parents and teachers you might end up in IT as a threat or a motivation to like get students to like study harder, which is so unfair lah.
Yeah.
Because like why you have to do that? Like IT is also a first destination now for like many
My
other
mom
students.
actually said that to me before.
What?
The IT thing like threatened that kind of thing. But and actually when I finished secondary school, I was very sure I wanted to go poly. Because I wanted to do like psych. Like I was interested in it, then I wanted to go and study that lah.
Was that what you did?
No, because my mother said poly cui. Then so I mean if that's what she thinks of poly, then on top of that then she ITE like as in I feel like in general the older generation has a more like fixed structure of like what school is a good school, like what school is elite, and then you have to go there and then everyone.
So then you went to JC.
Yeah, so I went to JC.
And you completed JC.
Yeah.
And then you went to uni and dropped out. Yeah, let's get it out of system. The guy is strong.
He talking on the BBC, that's why.
Yeah, really. I'm still thinking about
Really, yeah, is it?
Okay, yeah.
Why is that funny? I really don't get it.
Because you childish. It's like if I say
Yeah,
booby,
it's
he also
childish.
laugh.
No lah, yeah.
So your mother didn't want you to go to ITE, you want to go to poly, she didn't want you to go to poly, so you went to JC, completed JC, and then went to uni and dropped out.
Yeah. No, but the uni I go to is LaSalle lah.
Right.
It's not to say that it's a lousy uni.
Yes, yeah. Why did you do
why
that?
you do?
No, but compared to NUS, NTU, which is like top 10 in the world, right?
Not for design lah. If you want to do design, I take your LaSalle anyway.
Wait, but then that means your mom's plan put you in the worst situation already, what? Because now you just A-level only, which is lower than the rest, right?
Yeah. Hey, but my mom's decision put me here now though.
We don't know yet though. Your life might turn sideways. we don't know yet.
Next episode, I'm not here already. No, but I wonder how much the teachers are to blame for bad grades. You know, because every time in school, right, last time you do badly, hey, my teacher lousy, that kind of thing. Or like my teacher teach me wrong thing, all this kind of stuff. But how much of it is actually the teacher, how much is just you lazy?
I think from primary school and secondary school, nobody think that way one. Because the stuff that's taught to you is quite straightforward, no man? In uni that happened to me.
Many people
No, so in uni, right, there was a whole like scandal because right, or not scandal lah, but there's this whole hoo-ha around this particular teacher, right, who basically if you go and ask him for the answer, he will tell you the answer.
Right.
And the way he teaches you is that he basically just wants you to give the exact answer that he's looking for. So everybody ended up just copy. For the final exam, right, everybody gave the same answer, and you know you have the plagiarism check. Everybody kena like 70%, the whole batch.
Right.
Then it became a issue lah with the examination
Board.
people. Yeah.
Turn it in.
Yeah, then after he kena. I think he
In
kena.
poly, right? So I studied leisure resort management. So one of the things is like club management or something. Basically like forming the club and then the infrastructure for the club.
Totally different.
So then me and my friends, right, came out with this. I forgot the name of our club lah.
But club is so much better than clan, right?
Black belt. No wait. So then it was a billionaires club. For billion. Yeah. So we had then global concierge service and like all that stuff. Then you get that coin lah. You know that coin that you can pass on. Yeah. And then we were damn proud of it because I felt like it was damn well developed, right? And everybody else did women's club, like car club, which is like
boring.
It's there lah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So then we decided to think of something that we couldn't find ma. And then the teacher said that it was very impractical and not possible. And we got like a C or D or whatever on that impracticalness of it, you know. And then we do it today.
There's so many social like
billionaire clubs now. Yeah. This is 10 years ago. No foresight.
Ahead of your time, yeah.
I know your name. Yeah.
You have any like shit teachers?
That one ah,
yeah lah, besides that one lah.
You know, wait, I went to complain to the school, right? And we were damn gangster about it. We were damn angry. So we really told the teacher off and all that stuff, right? Then we say we want another lecturer to come in and regrade, right? And then he called his best friend lecturer. And the both of them sit in together and the teacher that gave us that grade, right, just sat down there and kept quiet. And the other person just try and defend him the best he can. Then we just talk halfway and then realize he's just defending him.
Yeah.
And then we walk on.
Wow, that's damn gangster.
It's great, it's not gangster though.
Cannot complain to somebody higher up, man.
I mean, back then that was what we.
Right.
That was what we did,
Right.
But I think that's the whole debate, right, with the education system. Like, do you want students to learn, or do you just want them to get grades and then like basically hit certain criteria, right? Because I feel like a lot of times when you are exam based, and then especially with like tuition teachers also, like they're looking at results, right, at the end of the day, and so they're just feeding you like the best possible answer so that you can just hit the grade. But I was really lucky, so like. Not to be the sport person I am lah, right? But I went to an international school in Singapore.
Sport man.
And like
PT for nothing, no. Go.
I turned out pretty okay.
Wait, why you have accent one?
Accent?
Oh yeah. No, I mean
accent.
I only went there when I was 14 lah, so I think you develop your accent like around 13 whatever lah. But
so it must be just 1 year.
The point that I was trying to make was that at that point of time, I don't know whether they've changed it anymore lah, but the emphasis was on learning, so much so that at Sec 1, Sec 2 and Sec 3, right, there was no final year exam.
Wow.
What a blessing.
You just learned, you were graded based on your how you perform throughout the entire year lah.
Wait, so when there were tests, it's according to textbook still lah, right? Like it's not like unconventional exams.
We rarely had a textbook, to be honest. I mean, for science and all, like we had textbook and math lah. But I think for like history, we didn't really have a textbook.
Then how?
So who won?
As in, there was obviously a syllabus, but like we rarely learned from textbooks. We learned from watching BBC programs. We learned from retelling of stories.
So the teacher just tells you a story.
Yeah.
That's so
And he was
fun.
fantastic. He was everyone's favorite, and everyone did really well for history. Before I joined the school, right, history was always about memorizing the details. It was just about memorizing, and I don't really remember what actually happened. But when you are learning that way, right, you are actually learning a story at the end of the day. It's like watching a movie, and then it's so much easier to actually understand the significance of why certain things happen and the details also. So I feel like it's how you're being taught lah.
I remember there'll be that one fun day, right, when like the principal or like some MOE person come down, sit at the back of the class, right, and then suddenly that day class is damn fun. The group work lah, all show video, then
got question got Well, I feel like the teachers got no shame on her. They really got no shame, man. They can be f***ing you just 2 minutes before the fella show up.
no, but they'll tell you
Then they just
someone's
snap.
coming.
No, mine they never prep us. They just snap into their dream teacher mode.
Yeah.
And then they just not shy about it. The fella leave the color just change. She don't even want to address it. She don't even want to like class thanks for making my life easier. Like they just pretend that this is a you are. So anyway,
Why we let them get away with this?
yeah, we should call them out.
Yeah.
We should ask them questions they cannot answer. Like hey, last week when you told me to off, you know what I mean?
or like, hey, teacher, how come you so different today? Like you not normally like
Yeah. Why are you suddenly so kind?
Why I haven't scored anybody in the last 10 seconds? The nicest you've ever been in 5 years, yeah.
My class got very bad, right? When we did N levels, right? Then there were 40 of us. Then after N level, right, there were 13 of us. There were a few people that still made the score, but I think the principal sat them down and said that I don't think you'll do well in the O level. So I don't know whether it's to protect the school reputation or really genuine advice for these young people.
But why isn't I mean it could be both though.
It could be. My class were people that were all like gang leader level already. It's like when we collect our O-level score, people can drive in, because they all like they retain until Tulan already. they all got license already. So then
the Mitsubishi Evo 7.
Yeah.
Same. They go both school. or they all share the car. They pay together, then they drive to each other.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably same gang also back
but
then. You all got bully like relief teacher kind, or like the new trainee teachers. I feel like I'm damn nice to them, yeah. Is it? Yeah. Like, but the general class usually got attitude one, man. Like, you know that particular class is gonna fuck that teacher up, kind, you know. Or like, we will make sure that every trainee will cry before they finish their 3-month training.
Horrible.
No, you want them to just give up, because when they give up, they just sit there.
Then you break them, right? Then they become real. We try to humanize them.
I got this teacher that came in and she was a damn good teacher. She was not a relief teacher, but she was a new teacher.
Yeah.
And my class is the gangster class, so then she kept crying every day.
And then you protect her lah.
No,
but they all gang leaders, you know. No, we trying, like, I was doing my best really. Like I did averagely, but my class position is forever number 1. I like unchallenged one. Like maybe my average percentile is like 67% and class number 1. And the next guy is 54. Then like the first 5 of us, then for class position 6 hours, the rest failed. And that kind of one. So like I was already number 1, and what you want me to do? I already sitting there paying attention already.
But the school, right, purposely throw the trainee there, right? Throw you into the deep end, yeah. Then let you survive. Why the they put a trainee teacher in that class? No reason to.
All the teachers quit lah.
Oh, they know enough.
No, Rabak one. They are so emboldened, right? That what is fun to them, right? Is that we drink the pink dolphin and we take the bottle cap, right? They just shoot at the teacher when he turn his head, right? And then he just turn back and he say who? Then it was an old man somehow. I still remember his name. His face is in my head.
But he's a trainee.
His go-to move is to off the light, off the fan. Then he's like, it's not that bad. So only like the fat kids, like also all the fat kids, then we just sit down there and sweat, like okay, it's quite bad. But most of them is really not that bad. And then we just walk there and turn on, then we stand beside the switch, then he cannot touch the students, ma.
Yeah.
So he's just like, what are you gonna do about this, son? Then he obviously don't have to pick on the bigger kids, which honestly is higher chance they threw the bottle cap. I mean, it really is them.
Yeah.
But so he will pick on the ones that he dare to, like if a fight breaks out, he won't die kind of fight, right?
Yeah.
And then he will punish them, right? But the solidarity in the class is so strong, right? We just get punished. Then he can call the principal come in. First few times, principal entertain him. Then after a while, he said, I'm going to call Mr. Low. Then he leaves the class for 20 minutes, he come back by himself. The principal don't want to come with him already. Because he keeps going like that.
That's damn horrible.
It's damn horrible. You go on 2nd floor, right? Got a mezzanine level, then he from level 1, right? 3 bottle caps together. Then everybody just hide off. Then he just stand on there in the mid, because we are on mezzanine, so we take 3 steps back, you cannot see. I mean, I never tried so well, but I witnessed it. I was on the same level as him. Yeah, so then they just have to take 3 steps back, then you cannot see him through the bottom cap already. So he was standing there in the empty hall, right, at the seemingly empty mezzanine, and he's just scolding people. Then it makes him look
like crazy.
Yeah, but actually somebody I saw, I know who throw.
The amount of detail you're going into this, right? Even the way you do this, right?
Yeah,
I really think
not me. I was
them.
actually very impressed how come they can hit his head
Damn sus.
all the time. Like I cannot shoot straight.
Oh, can you imagine how demeaning he must feel like?
Yeah,
after
and
his
he's
job?
so gaslighted that he's crazy.
Yeah.
Because the students keep hiding, and then the solidarity so strong, nobody rat anybody out. He go into class, he's so angry because someone shot a bottle cap during recess, right?
Yeah.
He just go in and he just off the light, he just off the fan immediately to make us perspire. Then the class, like 90% of them legit don't know what happened, ma.
It's so difficult to be a teacher.
It's
yeah.
damn hard.
Like you just imagine like
They imagine the child don't do well, the parents complain you
yeah,
again.
exactly.
Wow,
like you're there to help them, right? To educate them. Then if like you get to the point where you're so angry, sometimes they walk out to try to make you feel guilty, you know. But then they still have to come back. The next class.
Yeah.
No,
you can be jaded so quickly. Like you want to be a teacher because like you think, okay, I'm going to educate and change
for
the
many
world,
people,
right?
this is their passion.
Yeah.
Their passion throw bottle caps at them.
And then I think all it takes is like 2 months, right, to just feel like this is just the worst.
I don't know if now it's worse, but back then, right, teachers can use physical punishment. Right? Like in primary school, right, they take the metal ruler or wooden ruler, right?
Yeah.
Ask you hold your knuckle out, whack the knuckles, yeah.
Hey, and I did well in school back then. Because they beat me.
Huh?
Yeah. Like my Chinese was so bad, then for every question wrong, they take the credit after. I mean, this lady, she chills like young, like 20s, but she can whack. And then she, like, for every score that you don't get, she smack your hand one time.
Then you like?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, oh the kid.
So obviously,
oh yeah.
Obviously, the rest of my class, right, they fail because they didn't study or they don't want to study or they just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm genuinely bad. I really try and study. I really cannot remember. And so everybody go there, right? Like, oh, one by one you go out, right? Then all the, primary school they start already, right? They just walk out there, then they pak, then they just go back, sit down, they pull their chest, clap. Then just sit down. And for me, right, she smacked me one time, and I got like 8 wrong or 7 wrong, and I got 6 more smacks to go. She smacked me one time, right? I try and be like that guy because he's damn cool, he like my hero, right? His name is Elvin, by the way. Then he smacked me one time, right? Then my eye already welling out in tears already. Like if I blink, right? So I just go and I'm trying to be straight, but it's not like earth-shattering pain. But my body betrayed me. Like my tears just flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you can tell she looked at my face. She can tell she know I'm gonna lose a lot of street cred. She smacked me one time. Then she always give me chance.
Wow.
Yeah. So she smacked me like twice.
She look after
then
you,
she said I want to cry already, right? I remember in like Sec 1, Sec 2, right, the literature class, and then it was about this book called Matilda. They all read it. So
Is it Roald Dahl?
Yeah, there's a girl with special powers and all that stuff. So obviously I couldn't.
a different book.
Yeah. I couldn't finish. I couldn't finish the. I mean, I didn't even try lah. Like, I didn't even buy the book. I might have owned it. I don't know lah, but like really never read. Then for some reasons, midway through lit, right, the teacher pulled out the film. There was a movie. It was a very good movie, and so we watched it and we really liked it. So throughout from there onwards, I could smoke my way through everything. Then like the exams all come out, right? Then I realized that the movie ending and the book ending was different because the book ending was quite dark, some shit. So then I followed the movie all the way to a T lah. The dialogue, I quote the word because like wow, I really enjoyed the movie. Before Lee, I went to rewatch the movie.
The effort.
I managed to quote the thing off all wrong there, basket.
So you never pass.
Pass lah.
So
but the teacher got put remarks to say that
never read.
Quoted the movie. But I really never read, yeah.
Actually, on the point of exams, right? So in primary school, right, I had this. I think for my last 2 years, I had the same form teacher. So he teaches science, right? Then he bring one. He's the one that he smoked during the break just outside the gate, where students still can see it, right? This guy go and light up a cigarette in class, and say this is a science experiment, Then he light smoke. Then he go burn one plant in like those science dish, you know.
Secondary school?
Primary school.
Oh my god.
Then at that point we all like, wow, this guy damn cool.
Yeah.
But now I think back like, what the f is going on?
He just needed to smoke.
Yeah. Then right, this same fella, when I receiving my PSLE results, right, he had to give one by one, go and collect or some shit. So then I go up, because I'm quite nervous, because I don't know, it's my first big exam in life, right? Like, what's going to happen? Then I go up to him, he looked at me, right? Wow, his smile
big. He like, wow, I'm damn proud of you, sir. I didn't expect you to do so well. Then he give me the slate, I open, right, the results like shit.
My N level is like that.
Did your parents go with you to collect results?
Probably.
My mother go with me to collect PSLE, then after she never come in. Then PSLE open like 251, she cried. She like disappoint her.
Huh?
2 what?
251.
I never hit 200.
Then after that, in the end, my brother scored 2-3 something, then she never say anything.
She just create this story so she can say her PSLE results.
Don't say, you went all this company plan,
251 is not even that high.
You should read like that.
Wow.
WhatsApp.
No, as in there's clearly higher.
In comparison to...
I got 178.
You're the first person I know that's start
Less
with
than
1.
200. Yeah. No, so I also didn't know. Like, and back then, right?
I better.
Back then, you choose school before you get results, so you had no bearing. So my own bearing is my sister lah. Then both of them very smart which I had a very terrible childhood over because they were both like, you know, the school board in front got their name like you know.
Wow.
Like student council president like kind of top scorer shit one.
Yeah.
So then I just like struggling, right?
Oh, you're the black sheep.
I'm really the black sheep, and then
From the black
clan.
The clan.
No, then what was my point?
Your sisters. Then your results like shit. You're not very smart.
Oh yeah, no. So then you pick your school first, right? Then my sister's aggregate was 2-3 something, 2-2 something. So I thought, okay lah, maybe I'm also gonna be about there lah. Cause nobody think they're stupid, everybody think they're about same. So I went to pick my school all based on express stream, not knowing anything other than express.
But if you pick first, then how do they accept you?
Exactly. So after my year, they changed.
Oh.
Then my year, I born in 1990. So a lot of changes take place for the 1991 kids because like ours is like the end of the era kind. So everything off, yeah. So I just pick all the schools with the 2+ and get on, and come up, boom, 178. Then I was like, I didn't know that there was such a low. Then I asked so many people, so many people got 100+, right? Then I asked my best friend, I said, what you got? He said he got 68. I said, what? Like,
Wait, is that possible?
yeah.
2 numbers.
2 numbers. Then I said, how can? I said, did you show up? But he rebelled to the point whereby he just left the paper blank.
Where is he now? Then how did he get 68?
I don't know where. Huh?
No, cause the standard deviation after the
I don't know. I think it's like maybe your score one lah. So like maybe 4 exams plus together, you add up, it's still not 100.
Then he cannot go anywhere. It's those repeat the P6 one, right?
Never repeat.
Wait, so where did he go?
He went to ITE. No, you see, I think that's the problem also.
How can you go to ITE after primary school?
No, as in, I don't know lah. Maybe some normal tech somewhere else.
Right.
Then went to ITE. But I think that was their problem also. They created an education system whereby everyone could pursue tertiary, even if you are not academically inclined. Yeah, and there was that whole wave of people that, hey, you are laughing at my friend, he was my best friend.
No, we're laughing at the way you said tertiary.
Oh, really? William? Yes, tertiary.
Tertiary.
I don't know, I'm still laughing at 68.
Yeah. Sorry, I was the only one not.
I was triggered again because Darren started laughing.
I'm the only one have a heart here, man.
Maybe after that he
like
like
30+, I'm not sure also. Yeah, but he got double digit and then he just cried. No, wait. So I think one of the problems with the reputation of ITE was that back then they created a tertiary system whereby, like even if you were not academically inclined, you can go beyond secondary school.
Right.
Yeah, and I think they took their whole early batch of people, right, to say that you cannot study, you can go there. I think that was that narrative to try and fill up the school as soon as possible.
Right.
That stuck with them. Until right now they become like some world-class technical institution, right? It makes sense what? Not everybody is good by the book what? If you're not good by book, then you go and learn how to use your hands lah. Which is fantastic what? Everything makes sense, right? And then you get the best teachers to come and teach you how to use your hands lah.
Wait, but then like that, then IT is like the clearly opposite of is the end. It's literally all these people that could not have made it to other schools, right? Like have a place to use their hands.
Like Dan brought out earlier that is our education system supposed to get people to get the right answer or to like inspire creativity? For the longest time, it was not supposed to inspire creativity. It was not. It was the whole point of getting Singaporeans to fill up jobs that MNCs will come into Singapore to create. And so when our early leaders went out to bring MNCs to Singapore, we had to promise them that our workforce can work for you. And so it was very simple. I will promise you that all my workforce can speak English. And then it just kind of went from there. We are just feeling, and that's why if you teach honestly children financial literacy, they'll come in a point whereby nobody wants to work for these companies.
But not everybody will achieve financial independence by themselves. Yeah, and so I think lah, but this is based on nothing. I think it was a deliberate decision not to teach financial literacy at that point of time, because what you needed was a disciplined, consistent workforce.
Yeah. Plus, I think if we go back to like the whole hypothesis that it was the government that wanted to first optimize in what, the 60s, 70s, that when the industrial boom happened. Like, there was no guarantee that we will get to the success that Singapore is right now. So I think it's quite hard to like think that long term.
Right.
When
So they were just scrambling for that time.
long-term success.
Yeah. But and this thing kind of holds true today though. Though 99% of the workforce go out to work for a big company or a company, we still only need that 1 to 5% of innovators. Yeah.
But we do stay in, as in, like we do stay in such a lucky time, you know, that we
Really, really.
know all of this stuff, and like what he mentioned also, right, that like we have all the technology that we have in this time.
Can you imagine that's what people in the 50s thought as well? It's like, oh my god, we got horse carriages.
There was this campaign like a couple years back, right, where they got a lot of people, like people who are doing well and whatnot already, right, to take a photo and post on Instagram right, with their PSLE score.
Oh yes.
Wow, I thought their campaign was freaking good.
Yeah.
Like it sends out such a good message in terms of like the
Your grades don't define you.
Yeah.
No, but then early on the campaign messages came out 150, 160 and then they were successful. And then after that it became 250
plus,
yeah.
As with every campaign.
But they do 150 but they no job.
Unemployed. And that will help the cause.
Yeah.
That help the cause.
that would really
Something that I didn't like that my school used to do, right, was like during assembly and all that, right, they will say like they receive complaints from people in the neighborhood and all that, whatever, people with more